but we do need to fix it.
Call New Vision Auto Glass today at 480-210-9090 and get a guaranteed minimum $100 cash back and a free dinner at Rodizio Grill. NewVisionAutoGlass.com.
New Vision Auto Glass. See clearly. Drive safely.
A blown call at the plate?
Safe.
Frustrating. Spilling your...
I'm gonna go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
Crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
Well, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the Midnight Navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life, die hard, and became a free agent after 7 years with the Rockies, and I wanted to be a Yankee so bad. Putting this jersey on for a headshot for the first time, it felt different than any other shirt I'd ever put on in my career.
Hit in the air to center. Going back Isbell. He's onto the track. He's at the wall, and it is gone! Cattell does it once again. A 3-run homer.
Arizona Diamondbacks Baseball. Presented by Talking Stick Resort. Life well played. Avnet, your hometown partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Fry's. Hey, D-backs fans, score big game day meals at Fry's with savings beyond low prices, including digital coupons worth over $600 each week. Fry's, fresh for everyone. The Diamondbacks Radio Network is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan.
Broadcasting live from Chase Field in downtown Phoenix, it's once again time for Arizona Diamondback Baseball. And tonight, the D-backs are back at home and ready to kick off the first of 3 against the visiting New York Mets. Hi, everybody. Welcome inside the Greg Schulte radio booth. My name is Chris Garagiola. I'm joined by my analyst, longtime Major League pitcher Tom Candiotti. We're also joined by Luke Lipinski. Leo Gilmartin is our producer, engineer. Ali Narini, our technical director, back in studio. Candy, the D-backs 3-3 on the road trip. They played 2 teams over 500, and now they come back home, and the road gets no easier. It's the Mets today. After this series, the Dodgers come to town, and there really isn't any respite for the weary. They've got to come out swinging and playing their best baseball.
Yeah, Mets 22-13, and they're playing good baseball. They're at the top of their division in the National League East. The Diamondbacks, that was a successful road trip, going 3-3 in those 2. You'd like to have a little bit more, but you got to feel good about that. You're 2 games over 500 right now. Now you come home, you got the Mets, you got the Dodgers. This game right here should be able to kick off a pretty good homestand, I'm anticipating.
It's an interesting pitching matchup. The Diamondbacks are going to Ryan Nelson. He was the guy on the outside looking in when spring training came to a close, but the plan was always keep him in reserve. You never know when injuries flare up. Corbin Burns couldn't make his turn in the rotation. He should be fine for the weekend. but it's an opportunity for Nelson, who was so good last year, to showcase what he is all about here in this fill-in.
What is something that you snack on that you don't worry about?
I love Uncrustables. I could eat like 10 of them in one sitting.
And no regard for his body? I don't even wait till they thaw out.
Hey, put them in a toaster next time. Just toast it, yep. It'll change your life.
Yeah, just an incredible play by Riley Green. You're an all-star on the field and off, bro.
I appreciate it.
Hey,
thank you.
Riley Green, bro, food genius.
Out of 3 here and carry that into the offseason or into the very postseason.
Hey, last one for you. We're going to have Derek Hall on a little bit later to talk about it, but the City Connects drop for the Diamondbacks today. Your initial thoughts on what the D-backs will be debuting against the Dodgers this Friday?
They're really nice looking too. It's going to be strange. It's kind of a lot of the blue look to them, and with the Dodgers on the field being kind of a blue team, it's going to be kind of funny. But I love the look of them, just incorporating everything and so that'll be fun. Get your City Connect jersey.
Yeah, they were certainly popular. Long lines at the gift store, at the gift shop when they opened up at 10 o'clock this morning. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we will get you the starting lineups, and then it is time for some baseball. The Mets in the desert as they take on the D-backs on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
It's a beautiful day at the grocery store. The shopper is rounding the end cap. Uh-oh, looks like there's some spilled tomato sauce. Here comes the slide. Oh,
that's going to leave a mark, Bob.
Talk about a curveball.
Clean up on aisle 5.
At Morgan & Morgan, we know injuries can come out of left field. As America's largest injury law firm, we've recovered over $20 billion for our clients. If you've been injured in an accident, call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Experience a playcation in paradise. Talking Stick Resort in sunny Scottsdale offers you 4-star mountain views. Treat yourself to a relaxing spa, enjoy award-winning dining, and explore the hottest slots and table games. Plunge into our refreshing pools with private air-conditioned casitas. Plus, no resort fees for Arizona and our surrounding states. Treat yourself to the best in the Southwest. Book your stay and play Getaway today. Visit TalkingStickResort.com. Life well played.
Is your AC ready for summer? Emergency Air, proud partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, truly cleans your system while the other guys just check a box. Their techs spend up to 2 hours deep cleaning, basically refurbishing your unit. They guarantee it won't break down this summer or the service is free. First-time customers get this service for just $39. Visit emergencyair.com to book with the trusted team that keeps the D-backs cool and knocks it out of the park.
Emergency Air. The difference is we care.
Avnet is your hometown partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks. We are a global technology distributor and solutions provider headquartered right here in the Valley. We help businesses all over the world source the right technology components and manage the logistics to get their products to market. The components we distribute are likely in the products you use and depend.
I want to ask you about food. What is something that you have to eat to be the judge?
Oh, Aaron Judge! Send him to Monument Park now!
We got some good chefs in New York. They've been cooking up some nice chopped cheeses, and that kind of, it gets you, I don't know if I should tell the kids that they should be eating chopped cheese before a game.
Before the game, probably steak. That's usually what I go to.
I like a steak, no vegetables.
No vegetables?
No vegetables.
Is it straight protein?
Yeah.
On a Cy Young, 73, 5, and 6, I've got an extra 5. And then it says, has worked as a TV commentator. You know, and I did start back in 1978. I did the Yankees and the Red Sox playing the one-game playoff, and ABC said if the Yankees win, Reggie will play, and then you'll go broadcast with Howard Cosell and Keith Jackson, and that's how I started my broadcast. And that's the Bucky Dent home run. So every time I see Bucky Dent, I go, thank you for making me a broadcaster.
Once again, the lineup for the Diamondbacks: Carroll, Marte, Smith, Naylor, Suarez, Moreno, Gurriel, Thomas, and Perdomo. And Candy on the mound for the Diamondbacks, making start number one, right-hander Ryan Nelson.
Ryan Nelson, number one. He's 1-0 right now. He's got a high ERA, a good whip of a 1.18. He's going to go after you with a four-seamer, a cutter, a slider, a curveball, and a changeup. Really, his four-seamer and his cutter combination are just outstanding, along with the slider. Goes after those three pitches. His numbers are really off the board. His rates, his K rate, 10.54 per 9. Walk rate, 2.12. And he keeps the ball in the ballpark. He's only given up one home run in 17 innings pitched so far. So as long as he keeps throwing strikes, keeps the ball in the ballpark, he's going to be effective.
Mostly clear skies here in downtown Phoenix, 68 degrees. Unfortunately, with all the rain that had been kind of swirling around the area, the roof is closed and the panels are closed. D-backs not going to take a chance on it. We saw what happened in spring training last year when the roof was open and unexpected showers came in. They had to cancel the spring training game after 6 innings. Don't want that here tonight, as Lindor and the Mets, they're ready to go. D-backs in their black uniform sets, black jerseys, white pants, black caps and bills. Meanwhile, for the Mets, they're in their gray uniform sets, gray jerseys, gray pants, blue caps with blue bills. Marvin Hudson is our home plate umpire. Trip Gibson is over at first. Ryan Blackney at second. And Junior Valentine is the umpire over at third. D-backs lost the opener to the Mets back in New York. They rallied to win each of the next two. They're coming off also a doubleheader sweep at the hands of the Cardinals. And the first pitch from Nelson, fastball, and that misses low and into Lindor. Away we go, first pitch on time at 6:40.
Very aggressive pitcher with a very aggressive hitter at the plate.
Lindor, the switch hitter, bats left-handed. Nelson ready from the belt, the 1-0 pitch. Swung on high, fly ball out to center. Thomas holds his ground, and now backpedals a couple of steps before making the catch.
Good, hard fastball, bottom of the zone. A big swing by Lindor. He was trying to do some damage with that underneath it. And it's an easy little fly ball to center field and Thomas.
One up and one down for Mets right fielder Juan Soto. Soto, the numbers are starting to climb for him. 256 average, 5 homers, and 14 driven in. He had 2 homers in the finale against the Diamondbacks. That was back on Thursday. Now he takes low, and the count 1 ball and no strikes. Soto only 26 years old. There's now the righty Nelson ready. This is 1-0 pitch. Soto takes high. Very patient at bat, kind of his trademark. It's 2-0.
He almost defines the guy like trying to get a good pitch to hit. You rarely see him swinging a ball out of the strike zone.
Here's the 2-0 from Nelson. And that is high again, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Nelson, 27 years old. This is his 4th season in the majors. It's his 3rd full year after making 3 starts at the end of the 22 campaign. 1 out, nobody on. 3-0 pitch is outside, ball 4. That's a 4-pitch walk.
You know, this is really the part of the lineup that the Mets can really do their damage. They're very top-heavy with Lindor, Soto, Alonso, Marte, Nimmo, Vientos. And so You know, you want to go after these guys. You don't want to give them free passes there. Now you really got your work cut out for you with Alonso.
Right on right matchup, but Alonso having an outstanding start to the year. 344 hitter, 8 homers, 31 driven in. And the pitch from Nelson is taken inside, ball 1. That's 5 straight misses.
4 for 9 against Nelly with 3 home runs.
Alonso homered once against the Diamondbacks back at Citi Field. Now the 1-0, and that is at the knees for a strike. The velocity is there for Nelson, 96 miles per hour, 1 ball and 1 strike the count.
He's been throwing his fastball, too, about 59% of the time this year. He's proud of it. He's got a good one.
Here's the 1-1, and Alonso takes a strike. Off speed, outer third, it's 1-2. Last year, Nelson, 25 starts for the Diamondbacks, posted a 4.24 ERA. Really, for the first time in his career last year, looked like he kind of figured out how to be a good starter. That one swung on and fouled back. Top shelf heater, it's still a ball and 2 strikes. No score, top of the first inning, just getting started here in downtown Phoenix. Soto takes his lead. Now the 1-2 from Nelly. Breaking ball, grounded to short. Perdomo, gloves, flips to Marte. That's 1. Throw to first, that's 2. Inning ending, 6-4-3 double play. Nelson works around the 4-pitch walk, and we go to the bottom of the first. Mets nothing. And the D-backs coming up when we come back on the Morgan & Morgan.
Anytime we can put on these uniforms, the same ones that those guys played before us in the Negro Leagues, it's an honor to put it on and to share this field with them.
It's a piece of history, so I mean, to be able to wear it present day is honestly an unreal feeling.
Once the lights are on and the anthem takes place and you're standing there on the line, it'll sink in as to what this moment really means, because I do think it's a meaningful day. I feel like food and sharing a meal with someone is a universal language. You can't go to a ballpark and not have a nice hot dog. So if I'm at the ballpark, I'm gonna get a nice heavy glizzy. You gotta have chili on there, you gotta have cheese. If your hot dog isn't bending in the middle because it's like about to fall apart, then you're not doing it right. So you gotta have a glizzy and then something cold, whatever it is, beer, lemonade. You gotta have something cold to wash that hot dog down with.
To learn more.
Daniels Jewelers is the official sponsor of the trip around the diamond. Stop by any Daniels locations and say home run for your free team bracelet and $50 gift card toward any purchase of $99 or more. And at Daniels Jewelers, everyone is approved for credit. Daniels Jewelers, own the dream.
D-backs Front Office Focus, Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It is the bottom of the first inning. Corbin Carroll leading off. And he faces right-hander Griffin Canning, who makes start number 7 in his first year with the Mets. Right-hander ready, first pitch. And Carroll takes a fastball low, 1 ball and no strikes to count.
Canning has a little hitch in his pitching delivery. Kind of a short arm action, but not a true short arm action, just a little herky-jerky.
1-0. Carroll swings, cranks it out to deep right field. It sends Soto back to the track. It is gone! Bang, right off the bat by Carroll. A welcome home for him, his 10th, and the D-backs out in front 1-0.
Well, an inside fastball, and it was off the plate in. And Corbin Carroll with those quick hands in the barrel of the bat. And when they collided, that ball was out of here.
And with that trip around the diamond, stop by any Daniels Jewelers and say home run for your free team bracelet and $50 gift card toward any purchase of $99 or more. Daniels Jewelers, own the dream.
Had a little bit of trouble on the road, but that's a good way to start this homestand.
And for D-back fans, welcome home for Ketel Marte. Switch hitter bats from the left side. First pitch is upstairs for ball one.
It's only the third home run that Canning has given up this year. He's really done a nice job keeping the ball in the ballpark until now.
1-0, and that pitch high and outside, ball two. 2 balls, no strikes. And homer, our first hit of the game, presented by New Vision Auto Glass. New Vision and the Arizona Diamondbacks Foundation are teaming up to donate funds to veterans with every hit this season as part of the Hits for Heroes program. Canning's 2-0 now. Grounded right side and through. A base hit. Back-to-back hits for the D-backs. One long and one short. And with one on and nobody out, here is Pavin Smith.
Well, what a great start for the D-backs offense. The only thing better would have been if Marte got the hit and Carroll got the home run after him. But we'll take it right now. You can start a rally.
Canning, once a top pitching prospect for the Angels. He was a second rounder out of UCLA back in 2017. But, and I mean it with all due respect, he was just part of a lot of underperforming Angels teams for a majority of his career. Here's the pitch. And that breaking ball's in the dirt. Alvarez blocked it forward, so Ketel retreats back to first. 1-0 the count. But once he got out, obviously early days, the Mets have made a few changes with him, and it's had a couple of results. One thing, he uses his changeup a lot more. We'll see how much of that pitch is a factor in this one with a lot of lefties in the lineup. There's Canning's 1-0. Swung on and tapped foul. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. The other interesting point was one you just brought up. He had a real issue giving up home runs and his home run rate. Last year, 31 homers in 171 innings. 31 smashed his career high. So far, like you said, the home run to Carroll, just his third. Canning's 1-1 pitch. After a long hold, is taken down low.
Well, to go along with the home runs, not allowing a lot of home runs, he's got a 51% ground ball rate. So, I mean, that's a lot higher than the normal, than the average. So he is keeping the ball on the ground for the most part.
2 balls and a strike. Canning fires. Swing and a miss. And the count 2-2.
Well, this is what you've been noticing with Pavin. They're throwing him a lot of spin. And that was a pretty tight breaking ball there.
2-2 the count. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Marte at first. A 2-2 pitch. Good take. That's down low. And the count now runs full. Quick throw to first, and Ketel back in there safely. We've learned from the manager that usually the players have their own green light if they get a good jump. They might have given Ketel the red light once he came off the IL. Now the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chase ball 4. And Pavin down on strikes.
He threw him 2 really good breaking balls. Both of them sliders, but both with great tilt. And a very late break. A lot of depth to those.
So that'll bring Josh Naylor to the plate. Again, the D-backs in front 1-0 thanks to the solo shot from Corbin Carroll. Marte at first, 1 down. Naylor hitting .304. And the pitch to him is taken down low. Slider that time. 1 ball, no strikes. We're kind of seeing that Canning not afraid to throw that slider low and in to left-handed hitters.
Yeah, a lot of righties will go to a curveball or even the cutter, but they kind of stay away from the slider if they can, but doesn't look like he's doing that.
Here's the 1-0 pitch. That is a changeup for a strike. Still great velocity. He's got such a power arm as Canning. Heater runs up at about 98. Changeup 91. That one at 92 miles an hour. One ball, 1 strike. Canning. He fires. And just getting a piece is Naylor. I don't think he's ever taken a cheap swing in his Diamondback life.
Well, and he had a good pitch to hit also. I mean, that was a slider, and he does have a good slider. It looks like it's got a lot of depth to it and pretty sharp, but that one was right over the middle. Naylor hitting .304 right now, just kind of treading above 300. Not an easy out to get for a pitcher.
Mets coming into this one have a 5. The 1-2 is swung on and fouled by Naylor. Prior to that, they had been just scorching hot. They had a 7-game winning streak. They had gone on the stretch where they had won 8 of 9, including sweeping the Cardinals in a 4-game series, and then at home sweeping their rival Phillies. D-backs came in. The Mets had only lost 1 game at Citi Field all year. Now the 1-2, that's a ground ball right to the second baseman, McNeil. He goes to second for 1, and the throw to first is still in time. That is a 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. D-backs get a run on 2 hits. Corbin Carroll's homer sends us to the second with the D-backs in front 1-0 on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio network.
It's a beautiful day at the grocery store. The shopper is rounding the end cap.
A snack that Freddie cannot resist.
I would have to say chips and guacamole. Organic mango, yep.
Is that because of the strong Dominican contingent in the major leagues, bro? Has anybody ever struck out and gone crazy and smashed the cooler full of mangoes?
Nah, our team's not really into smashing each other's stuff, I guess.
Are you a seasoning guy? You like to drown your stuff in dips and sauces?
No. Gotta watch my figure.
And it looks great, brother.
I appreciate it.
Very sexy man.
Yeah,
Let's go, Freddie Freeman, ladies and gentlemen.
Level, making every second count with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
D-back skipper Torey Lovello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It is the top of the second. D-backs in front 1-0. Starling Marte leads off for the Mets. And the first pitch to him low and away, ball 1. 1-0 Snakes means the D-backs are safe at home with Blue Sky Pest Control, the official pest control provider for the Arizona Diamondbacks at Chase Field. Marte hitting .193 on the year, couple of homers, 12 RBIs. And the 1-0 to him, a called strike. Kind of an old school approach for Nelly. Pretty fastball heavy so far through the first 3+ hitters. 1-1 now, 2 to throw as he comes set the pitch. And just missed inside.
Nelly's a little bit old school in the fact that he likes to establish his fastball first time through. And he'll be dominant with that pitch normally. Now if the hitters are on it and they're taking some swings at it, he'll adjust, but he likes to attack.
Ground ball right back to Nelson into his glove. He jogs to first, tosses to Naylor. And that is 1 out as the former shortstop showing the elite reflexes.
I mean, that was just nice. He gets himself in decent fielding position, runs the ball over to first, makes a nice, easy little flip.
And with 1 out, it brings up the left fielder, Brandon Nimmo. D-backs did not see much of him in that series at City as he was battling flu-like symptoms. First pitch, left-handed hitting Nimmo takes high. 1 ball, no strikes. Diamondbacks lead it 1-0. Nelson from the belt, 1-0 pitch. And he recorrects the fastball with one right down the middle. 1-1 the count.
Well, he just reaches back, rocket fire, just lets it go. Hit it if you can.
1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch. Just outside for ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Candy, one thing we didn't really talk about during the course of the series against the Mets is ever since they got new ownership and the way they've kind of gone about the last few free agencies. You know, the first time with Steve Cohen, it was getting Scherzer and Justin Verlander. It was a 2-1. at the knees for a called strike. Sort of buying the name brand, but not, quite paying for the performance with the name. And it took him a couple years to figure out that, all right, you want to maybe get some of the younger guys in free agency, but he did when he landed Juan Soto. 2-2 to Nimmo, high for ball 3. All this just feels like, and you could speak to this better, the Mets were the little brother of the Yankees for pretty much the entirety of that franchise, in the same way that the Clippers were the little brother to the Lakers, and then the Clippers got a new owner, spent a lot of money there. 3-2, swung on and fouled left side over the D-back dugout, foul. It feels like the Mets made a statement in the offseason, and the way they have started the year going 22-13, they're trying to let New York know that someone's coming for the king. Nelly's payoff. Again, guided foul left side out of play.
My first take on that whole thing, when they signed Soto, it was to really spite the Yankees. He obviously had just an unbelievable year last year with the Yankees and got him to the World Series, helped get him to the World Series. But I just thought that's what it was more about than anything.
That is off the plate, ball 4. Second walk issued by Nelson. A 1-out walk to Nimmo, and it brings up third baseman Mark Vientos. I think you're exactly right. And I think that Steve Cohen was willing to spend, obviously don't know this for sure, any dollar amount it would have taken to pry him away from the Yankees. And eventually it was the Yankees who blinked first.
And look at the Yankees now because of that. You got a guy like Max Fried on the mound who's, pitching as well as anybody in baseball.
Vientos takes outside for ball 1. They also made some, I call them thriftier moves. Paul Goldschmidt, a former MVP winner, not exactly like a Moneyball A's signing. 1-0 Diamondbacks. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes to count. But he's having a great sort of bounce-back season with New York. Cody Bellinger's doing a nice job. Trent Grisham's been there for a few years. He's gotten off to a good start.
A couple of young kids are showing up. Austin Wells, Rice.
Swung on by Vientos. Fly ball to right. Carroll has it, and that's going to be out number 2. Nimmo holding it first.
Boy, right on the fisticuffs, too. Good running fastball right above the knuckles.
Yeah, that's a good pitch to make when you're down on the count as a pitcher 2-0. And I know Vientos, the batting average might not be where he wants, but this is still a guy with a lot of power. Speaking of, here is Francisco Alvarez. 286 average, 1 homer, 7 RBIs. And he takes high for ball 1. Not an overly tall catcher. Short, stout, quick to the ball. Almost a prototypical catcher build.
A lot of pop when he gets going.
2 outs, the 1-0. Swung on, that is ripped on a line right to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. 115 miles an hour off the bat, nothing to show for it. Mets are done in the second. We go to the bottom of the second inning. 1-0 D-backs on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio network.
Arrive early to the D-backs birthday.
Products you use and depend on every day, from your car to your household appliances. Avnet, delivering what's next in technology distribution. Visit avnet.com to learn more.
The Arizona Diamondbacks play here. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It is the bottom of the second. Eugenio Suarez leads off. And let's pause 10 seconds for station ID on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio network.
KMBP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
Cannon gave up a leadoff homer to Corbin Carroll. And that was pitched to Suarez, is in there for a strike.
Gino keeps kind of struggling with that 200 batting average, that 200. He gets a little bit there, and then he falls back.
Now a swing. That's going to bring the average up. Line drive to left field, a base hit. Have a two-hopper to Nimmo. Did well to cut it off. And it is just about brute strength. Here's the 1-0 now. And Gurriel takes inside. That one a little bit better at 94. 2 balls, no strikes, the count. Well, Gurriel on the road, Candy, 8 for 23 with 3 doubles, a homer, and 2 walks.
Yeah, that was a nice week for him. So he could back that one up.
Swinging a bouncer, foul. Slider that time, 2-1 the count. We talked before about how Canning will go sliders and changeups to lefties. Not going to throw a whole lot of changeups to these right-handers. A lot more fastball slider combo.
Let's see if Gurriel can get a mistake pitch.
2-1 from Canning. Up and in for ball 3. Slider that never really broke.
Way up and in. Really overthrew the slider. Well, he's got himself into a good hitter's count now.
On deck is Alek Thomas.
Yep, just be selective, get a good pitch.
3-1. Slider just at the bottom of the strike zone. 3-2 now. Big hole right side of the infield. Second baseman McNeil close to second. And now Canning's 3-2 pitch. Strike 3 called. Dotted a fastball in the outer third. He had basically lived up the entire at bat and then fired one right at the bottom of the zone.
Tough pitch to hit. This is a pitcher's pitch all the way. Just a hard 96 on the corner. I mean, just a four-seamer right to Alvarez's glove.
Thomas hitting .302. 13 RBIs. And he will take low and in for ball 1. Another guy who had a solid road trip for the D-backs. 5 hits and 13 at-bats. Now the 1-0. Thomas high, chopper to second. McNeil gets the Sunday bounce. And throws Thomas out at first. The inning comes to an end. No runs, a hit, no errors, a man left. We've played 2 here in Phoenix. And the D-backs lead the Mets 1-0 in the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
Don't miss it.
Saturday, May 31st, take home the Geraldo Perdomo City Connect 2.0 bobblehead, courtesy of Chaz Roberts. Buy your tickets at DBACKS.com.
D-backs Front Office Focus, Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It is the top of the 3rd inning. And Jeff McNeil leads off for the Mets. 1-0 Diamondbacks thanks to a home run by Corbin Carroll. McNeil, the lefty, facing Nelson, the righty. And that first pitch from Nelson is a cutter. Missed inside for ball 1. Nelson, Kenny, has thrown more balls than strikes so far, though he has worked out of trouble in each of the first couple of innings. Nothing too significant, just a couple of walks. Now the 1-0. And McNeil chased one low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You don't normally see McNeil do that, a former batting champ. Usually he's pretty selective up there.
.269 average, 1 homer, and 4 driven in. Now he swings, sends a lazy fly to center. Thomas went back. Now he's sprinting inward, and he makes the catch on 2 feet. Caught it off the end of the bat, but it might have sounded like it hit barrel. That's why Thomas took a couple steps back, but he had to burn inwards. And he snags it. 1 out.
Yeah, Perdomo was going after, charging out there, but there was no way that he was going to get to that ball. That was all about Thomas, and he recovered on it, made the play.
Well, here's Tyrone Taylor. Right-handed hitter, a lot of pop. Swings, nails one right center. That's trouble. Down and splitting the gap. That's going to go all the way to the wall. Taylor aggressively rounding first, and now he's going to turn around second. Marte has it. His throw to third is not going to be in time. A 1-out triple. He really scorched the D-backs back in Citi Field, and now he's got another extra base hit here in Phoenix.
Well, he's done it with his bat and his glove. This time with the bat again. Nails that right center field gap, and I got to believe that if there was no outs, he might have stopped at second on this, but with 1 out, he was trying to get to third base, and Thomas did whatever he could. Good relay by Marte, but just a hair late.
It's a deep right center field here at Chase Field, and he split it perfectly. Infield going to come in for Lindor. Nelson got him to fly out to center his first time up. Here's the pitch, and Lindor takes a strike. Dialed up the velocity on that pitch. That was 98 miles an hour.
98 at the knees. That'll play.
1-0 D-backs. Runner at third. 1 out. Top of the third. Mets threatening. And now the 0-1 pitch. Lindor swings. Towering fly ball to not very deep right field. Carroll's going to get a running start. He makes the catch. Taylor going to try and score. Throw to the plate is in time! That's a double play. Carroll with his 4th outfield assist of the season, and the Mets fail to score. Oh, what a play by Carroll. We go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. It is still the D-backs 1 and the Mets nothing on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
Join the Arizona Diamondbacks on May 26th as we celebrate Memorial Day at Chase Field. Arrive early to the game and receive a special edition Red Poppy.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these ourselves, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
D-backs skipper Torey Lovello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It is the bottom of the 3rd inning. D-backs with a 1-0 lead. It'll be Perdomo, Carroll, and Marte. And joining us now in the radio booth is President and CEO of the Diamondbacks, Derek Hall, to talk a little bit about the much-awaited debut of the Serpientes 2.0 City Connects. Derek, first off, great to see you. Thanks for being here with us tonight. How are you?
We're doing great. Yeah, what a day it was. I mean, launching our second version and having the purple and teal and still the Serpientes, which is a brand on its own, along with a cap this year for the first time.
Now, Perdomo takes low. 1 ball, 1 strike. There was a lot of anticipation going into this, and the early rumors leaked out about, well, there might be a return of some purple and teal.
Right.
I know you've heard about this for the better part of a decade, right? And now, first the 1-1, check swing and a miss. It's here. People love it. They were lined up out the door before the team store even opened, and the reaction on social media from people outside the city of Phoenix, baseball fans, casuals, they love them.
The reaction has been very positive, and you're right. It was probably the worst secret ever. There were all sorts of versions that came out, and then it got leaked last week. But we were glad to deliver it today. We didn't want to deliver it until after Zensmeister delivered his child. So we were able to do that. But today, as you said, I mean, 'cause we had a line, probably 50 people waiting for the team shop to open. It was all day, merchandise flying off the shelf, and I hear that they sold out online, so we'll restock that as well. But seeing so many now wearing them already in the seats, and ironically,
strike 3 called there for Perdomo. Another strikeout via the heater here for Griffin Canning.
And ironically, the first time we launched in 2001 with our San Serpientes, the Dodgers were for the first time Friday night when the Dodgers are here. But Dodger fans were lined up in 01, and they bought a ton of our jerseys, which was very confusing to me because there I am then at Dodger Stadium, and I see people wearing Serpientes. I'm going, go D-backs. They're like, no, I'm not a D-back fan. I'm a Dodger fan, but we like your jersey. So hopefully they buy them again and wear and don our jerseys for this 2.0 version. But really, really excited. And you got to go in the team shop and see all the T-shirts and sweatshirts and hoodies and polos. It's a great line.
Oh, I was talking about this very thing with my wife. We were kind of looking at all the different items, and I swear it was like one by one. She was like, can you get me – no, get me that one.
Great.
Actually, no, I changed my mind. I want you to get me that and get me that. I'm like, all right, let's just make a list here.
Yep. My wife is in there right now as we speak, so I'm a little worried about the bag loads coming up.
No balls, 2 strikes on Carroll. 1-0 D-backs, 1 out, bottom of the 3rd.
Well, this has been a nice process going through it with MLB and, of course, with Nike. Nike wanted, I think, the stacked Diamondbacks on the front. I really wanted Serpientes back, and I'm glad they came around because it really has become a brand. It's a nod to our, Hispanic culture. And then, of course, this whole jersey look is a nod to the teams of the past.
It's
got
fun
a vest
to say,
look.
too.
Yeah. It is.
Serpientes.
I know. Candy, fans call us the Serps or Serpientes, not just D-backs.
Yeah.
It's really become a life of its own. So I did not want to lose the Serpientes. It's a standalone brand of who we are.
0-2, that is a little outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes to count. One of the subtle details I really like is on the collar, Arizona born.
Isn't that
right?
great?
You want to try and market yourself and be as available to so many fans in the Southwest. But this is a team that is located in Phoenix. It's the first team that, brought its first championship to the state, as that's down low. And there's a lot of people that take pride in that, and just have Arizona born on there as a Phoenician myself.
No doubt. You are Arizona born.
It.
Yeah, and this team is Arizona born. I love that touch, and also the purple and teal Arizona flag. These are things that we're proud of that associate us with our great state. And we are not the Phoenix Diamondbacks, we're the Arizona Diamondbacks.
2-2, Carroll uncorks one foul.
And fans have been wanting the purple and teal back. I love the purple and teal as well. We used to have that Throwback Thursday, which was our old pinstripe from the 01 World Series. And Major League Baseball, rightly so, got smart and said that we're going to limit the number of jerseys or uniforms that we could have. We had way too many, right? So they did the right thing. And then you can only have 4, and then you can have your alternative. Well, your alternate is the City Connect. And so now we were able to do both, right? Bring in a City Connect and bring back the purple and teal.
2-2 pitch. Carroll swings, sends a high fly ball out to deep center field. Taylor is going back at the track and in front of the center field wall. And will make the catch for a long, loud fly out by Carroll.
But doesn't it seem like every time Carroll touches the ball, it's hit hard? Especially here at Chase Field.
His exit velocity is way up there. He's got that backspin going. He knew right away in that first inning that ball was gone. I mean, he didn't even hold back from running, and he's been exciting to watch. And his arm, right? There's another outfield assist that we just had last half inning. It's great to see him, but he works so hard. You guys know this. He's the hardest worker we have. He's the first one in, the last one out. He's in the weight room every day. He takes care of himself, and he wants to be the best player that he could possibly be.
Now Cattell takes a breaking ball for a strike. He's about due for his first home run. Would not be surprised if he comes here. Really felt his absence. And yet the D-backs, they won more games than they lost when he was recovering from the hamstring strain.
With a horrific schedule. I mean, you look at these teams we've had to play, it's like going through the playoffs, right? And we've said if we could just hold our head above water here while we try and overcome some of these injuries to the bullpen and now starting pitching and Cattell, we haven't really even played well. You guys know that. We've been sloppy defensively. We haven't really hit the ball. We're starting to, but we haven't really clicked. And we haven't had those consistent quality starts. We had that one little string. Other than that, we expect a lot more out of our starting pitchers, and it's going to turn. It's going to click. And for us to be 2 games over 500 without even playing our brand of baseball yet and having the schedule we've had, I'm actually happy where we're at.
And getting ready to start playing in your division now, finally, right?
Yeah, isn't it crazy we haven't played 1 game in our division?
That's nuts.
Candy, can you imagine that? We've already made 3 trips back east.
Yeah, I feel like
we know.
I know you guys do. I only made 1 of them.
Here comes the 1-2 from Canning. And Cattell takes outside 2-2 the count. You bring up a lot of great points. By the way, one final thing on the Serpientes. They're going to debut them this Friday. They're going to wear them again on Saturday. And then every Friday home game, you can see your favorite Diamondbacks in the new purple and teal. But all the points you brought up are accurate. And the Diamondbacks have won 3 more games than they did at this point in the season in 2024. I know it's a different year and different circumstances, but it's not quite all doom and gloom. We read the reactions as well online about how fans feel. As this 2-2 from Canning, that is strike 3 called, and the inning comes to an end. Derek, we could talk to you all night. You got places to go, people to see. Thanks so much for
guys.
popping in.
Appreciate it. Yep, enjoy the Serpientes.
We go to the 4th, 1-0 D-backs on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
Well, this is a World Series card. Everybody said, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher. I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. Pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
DBACKS
Bring mom to Chase Field on Mother's Day, Sunday, May 11th, and receive a clear crossbody bag. Get your tickets at DBACKS.com.
The Arizona Diamondbacks play here. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Top of the fourth inning. A reminder with Boost by Fry's VIP. Win game day with free grocery delivery, 2 times fuel points and more. Visit friesfood.com/boost today. D-backs right now holding on to a 1-0 lead as Ryan Nelson toes the slab. He faces Juan Soto, and first pitch, fastball missed inside. Soto walked on 4 pitches his first time up. Yet to see a strike here from the righty Nelson.
He's up there taking tonight.
Now the 1-0. Takes a breaking ball inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes the count.
Sometimes when you're a pitcher and a hitter comes up that you don't like to face or has some really good numbers against you, you become less aggressive than you normally are. And Nelly's a real aggressive pitcher, but he's not throwing anything really close to him. And when I look at his numbers against him, he's 3 for 12, he's got a couple home runs. You know, those home runs might stand out, and that's why he might not want to be coming over the middle of the plate to him.
Here's the 3-0. Way inside ball 4. Second consecutive 4-pitch walk here to Juan Soto.
Now if you just get Alonso hitting ball to the ground again, another double play is in order.
That's what happened his first time up. Got the old 6-4-3 inning ender. D-backs defense, as we heard from President CEO Derek Hall talk how the beginning of the season defense for the D-backs have been a little sloppy. Been much sharper as of late. We've seen it in this game. As now Nelson missed outside with ball 1. Moreno both arms out to say, take a breath.
Nelly comes into this game with a 2.12 walk rate, which is outstanding, but having a little trouble locating in this game.
1-0 pitch. There's a strike, a generous one, and Alonso a shake of the head.
Yeah, he's trying to help the umpire out there, and he was probably right.
One ball, one strike, the count, the pitch. Swung on, and Alonso fouls it back. 1-2 now. You know, the career journey for Nelson, it's an interesting one because it has not always been smooth. More on that in a second. Here's the 1-2. Swung on, and Alonso fouls it away. So we mentioned at the top of the broadcast that Nelson was one of the top pitching prospects going into the 22 season. Wouldn't make his debut until the very end of the year. Made 3 starts, threw the ball very well. Right around the same time that Dre Jameson, another high draft pick, high pitching prospect, also kind of got a taste of big league life. Right at the end of that 22 season, D-backs had already been eliminated. Or not mathematically, but they were out of it. 1-2 pitch. Swung on high, deep drive, way back and gone it goes. Long 2-run home run for Pete Alonso. It is his 9th. And the walk comes around to bite Nelson as the Mets take a 2-1 lead.
Well, we always talk about, you know, the 2 things that really hurt are the walks and the home runs. And when you walk a guy and you don't get the next guy out, but he delivers a bomb like that one was, you know, that's the worst combination you could have. And when you look at the pitch, just kind of a high nothing cutter, just hung right there, and he banged it.
I mean, that was a spectacular moonshot off the bat of Pete Alonso. So now a chance to reset, not just for Nelson, but for the D-backs as they trail for the first time tonight, 2-1. Nelson, that home run swing put him ahead of strikes versus balls by 1. And now he fires in a strike to Marte. It's not only just inefficient pitching, Candy, it's just a dangerous way to make a living as a starting pitcher.
Constantly, to be effective, you have to be 0-1 and 1-2. And when you're not in those counts, then you're vulnerable.
Challenged Marte with a fastball right down the middle, and the count 0-2.
And especially with someone with as great a stuff as Nelson has, you don't have to be a corner pitcher. You can let it just fly.
Nelson's 0-2 now is guided foul. So after the 22 season, there was a lot of expectations kind of going into the year as how this team might look. Unfortunately, the rotation was kind of similar to what we experienced this spring. There were 4 established spots. You still had Madison Bumgarner. You had Zach Gallen, 0-2 up and in. You had Merrill Kelly. You had Zach Davies. And so it was one spot for 2 guys. Would it be Nelson? Would it be Jameson? And at the end of the spring, the determination was that Jameson would be the one to go to the bullpen and Nelson would hold the last spot. Now the pitch. And a check swing foul. A ball and 2 strikes. Well, I'm not going to rehash the entire year, but Jameson started and actually did pretty well as kind of a long guy. Bumgarner had a rough outing against the Dodgers. He came in, wound up earning the win to Jameson. Nelson was just kind of ho-hum as the 5 starter. Some good moments, some not good moments. But Jameson wound up getting hurt. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And Nelson was relatively ineffective to the point where they actually sent him down back to AAA in the second half of the season. Well, he comes back up. D-backs go on their magical playoff run. He had a very minor role to play in it. As this 2-2, there's a swing and miss. And he just struck out with Marte with the hard stuff.
He just reared back and let this one go. Let it fly up in the zone, and at good velocity beat him.
So naturally, that burned at him a little bit. Not only was he just not pitching well, not only did he get sent back down to the minors when the team was... And it's not like the year they had last year with the second half. D-backs were just taking off, right? Remember the 83 wins got him in the postseason as Nimmo goes after the first pitch and fouls it down the left field line. 2-1 Mets with 1 out in the top of the 4th inning. But he was in the rotation in 2024, and after a 6-week stretch where it kind of looked more the same, just something clicked, whether it was maturation or confidence. And the 0-1 fired in there for a strike. And when other guys were going down, whether it was Gallen with his hamstring, whether it was sort of the inefficiency of Jordan Montgomery, of course Merrill Kelly, Erod, both with shoulder issues, he not only made every start that he was supposed to for most of the year, he was so good. So now, we all know what happened. The D-backs missed the postseason by a game. He's supposed to be in there. And then the news breaks, the D-backs signed Corbin Burns. And it's the same problem as 2023. Here's the 1-2. Outside to Nimmo, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Except instead of 4 established guys, you now had 6 guys for 5 spots. Someone was guaranteed to get the short end of the straw, so to speak. And in this case, because of age, there was Nelson. That's just off the plate, ball 3-2.
And when you look at it from an organizational standpoint, this is perfect because nobody goes through the season with 5 starters anymore. And you got a guy like Nelson with that kind of quality arm ready to come in. Someone goes down for a little bit. He is right there to be able to come in and do the job. It's the hardest thing, trying to keep them sharp and ready.
That breaking ball just slipped out of the fingers. That's the 4th walk issued by Nelly on the 3-2. So Soto has walked twice. Nimmo has walked twice. Here comes Brian Kaplan, the pitching coach. Going to try and get Nelson back on track as there is some moving around in that D-back bullpen in the left field line.
I think a lot of it has to do with that last pitch he threw, too, the curveball, where he's trying to throw it for a strike, and that was well out of the strike zone. It was out of the atmosphere of the strike zone. So you got to lock him in. You got to keep him in those good counts. 0-1, 1-1, 1-2, 0-2. That's how you win games.
And it's funny how you talk about no team ever makes it through a season with 5 starters. It's so true. And in fact, that was the thing that Mike Hazen was asked, I think one of the first days that the pitchers and catchers reported in February, like, hey, is this guy going to be in your rotation? Is it? And he was like, look, I don't know the answer, but I've never, in all my years in baseball, even gotten through a spring where everyone stays healthy. And after the last day of spring training, it appeared as though everyone had made it. But then we learned Jordan Montgomery needed Tommy John. As that pitch, a strike. And the count is 0-1. And then, of course, the injuries, not so much in the rotation, but have really been nipping the Diamondbacks in the bullpen. Nelson Reddy is 0-1. And that's a nice slider for a second called strike. The count 0-2.
We'll put that one perfectly on the outside corner.
Mets 2, Diamondbacks 1. Here at the top of the 4th. Nimmo at first, 1 out. Nelson's 0-2 effort is on the way. And that's a swing and a line drive towards right center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Carroll cuts it off. Nimmo on his way to third. The throw goes to second. 0-2 hanger is just poked into right, and the Mets have him on the corners for Alvarez. This is starting to look like trouble.
Yeah, breaking ball that time is curveball, but just a little bit too up in the zone, a little bit too far inside more than anything. Gabby wanted this ball away. He didn't get all the way through it, didn't extend on it, and Vientos made him pay.
You know, you never want to necessarily eliminate a pitch in its entirety, but Candy, that curveball is just not doing what it usually does for Nelson. It's getting him in some trouble.
That's really his 4th best pitch also.
Swing and a foul tip by Alvarez on the first one. 0-1 the count. Alvarez lined out to Gurriel his first time up on a 115-mile-an-hour line out. The hardest hit ball of his career.
L7. That's it. 0 for 1.
0 for 1. Thanks for playing.
Well, you'd love to see him hit the ball on the ground here. Double play, get out of this inning.
Mets with a 2-1 lead. They already got a home run from Alonso in this inning. Now the 0-1. And Nelson missed low with a slider. Not a bad idea. 1 ball, 1 strike the count.
Nelson up now to 61 pitches. That's another thing you have to start watching a little bit.
I mean, he is stretched out in terms of a long reliever, but not to the same degree as a starter. So the idea of 100 pitches seems impossible. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. Excellent slider. It's 1-2.
In my mind, I thought if everything went really well for Nelly, you're looking about a 75-pitch outing. So, you know, you're 13 pitches away from that right now.
Really needs something on the ground here. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Struck him out. Tied his hands up with a high heat. And a massive strikeout for Nelly, just his second.
Boy, both strikeouts on the high fastball. One on Marte, that one, great pitch. Right in there above the hands. Can't hit that one.
McNeil flew out to center his first time up. And the pitch is outside, ball 1. Little show me curveball.
Again, up in the zone and cast it up and away instead of breaking that thing down, getting on top of it.
And so far, Nelson's only registered 2 swing and misses all night. 1-0. And that is just high. Cutter. 2 balls, no strikes. And now it looks like there's action up in the bullpen. Lefty Jose Castillo. First and third, 2 outs. The Mets lead by 1. Here's the pitch. And that curveball is in there for a strike. Actually a slider, but he really took something off it.
Kind of the slurve ball. But he got it in the strike zone, down and away on a good place.
2-1. Here it is. Swing and a miss. Cutter top of the zone. It's 2-2.
time to finish him off. You'd feel pretty good after getting out of the inning right now with only giving up 2 runs if you get this guy out.
Oh, no doubt about it. Mets with a 2-1 lead. Nimmo at third. Vientos at first. Nelson comes set. And his 2-2 to McNeil is a ground ball, weakly hit to second. Cattell takes his time. Gloves tags Vientos. Oh, that was a gutsy play, but he gets the force out. The inning comes to an end, and it's just the 2-run homer that impacts the Diamondbacks from Alonso. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Mets 2, D-backs 1 on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
I'm helping these kids be the best versions of themselves, and I'm also representing like where I came from. And then the Zilla team, I was working with a creative guy that was with Nike. I work with my best friend who manages this team with me, and we kind of just like put together like what we think would look cool. We went like Godzilla theme. You kind of get to help them grow up into a young man and help them just make the right steps forward. And that's really why I started it, to have impact.
May 8th, the D-backs host Shohei Ohtani and the Los Angeles Dodgers at Chase Field for a 4-game series. Secure your tickets for the matchup at dbacks.com.
D-backs Front Office Focus, Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Pavin Smith going to lead off the bottom of the 4th. Going to be Pavin followed by Naylor. And then should anybody reach base, Suarez. D-backs trailing 2-1. Griffin Canning, after a long rest, his first pitch is a curveball that missed outside for ball 1. Mets got 2 hits in that inning in which they sent a total of 7 men to the plate. 2 hits, 2 walks. A couple of strikeouts for Nelson. And now Canning's 1-0 pitch. And Pavin takes just high. It was in the strike zone, but it's a changeup. Marvin Hudson probably thought that's not where those are supposed to be. Here's a 2-0. Pavin swings, hits a soft ground ball to second. McNeil awkwardly gloves, now throws to first in time. Been a bit of an adventure for McNeil so far in this opener over at second base.
Certainly has. You know, nowadays you really don't see too many bad hops at all on infields, but he played that ball like it was a bad hop. The only thing he did well was really keep his body in front of it.
At Dignity Health, our team of orthopedic experts can help keep you in motion. Don't let joint pain put your life on pause. Visit dignityhealth.org/AZOrtho to learn more. And the first pitch to Naylor. He goes after it and fouls it. 0-1 the count.
Big swing that time by Naylor. Breaking ball was underneath the strike zone, but he had already committed on it.
Chris Garagiola alongside Tom Candiotti. Leo Gilmartin, our producer engineer. Ali Narini, our technical director. Luke Lipinski filling in for Steve Zinsmeister. Well, the 0-1 swung on and missed.
Tried it again, same pitch, same result basically. Big curveball down, just really on top of the plate.
Nothing at 2 the count. Here's the pitch from Canning. Missed inside. Mets are coming from a 3-game series in St. Louis. They were able to get the game in on Friday. They were rained out on Saturday. So they played a doubleheader yesterday before flying out to Phoenix.
Split night doubleheader.
Yeah, that second game did not get started, I want to say, until about 5:30. Woof. Now the 1-2 pitch. Hard hit, base hit into right field. And Naylor aboard with a 1-out single.
Canning is lucky that ball stayed in the ballpark right there. Another breaking ball, but this time instead of throwing it on top of the plate, he threw that ball well up in the zone, and Naylor really made him pay.
Suarez roped a base hit to left field his first time up. D-backs trailed 2-1. They are out hitting the Mets 4-3. Each team with a home run. Carroll with a solo effort for the D-backs. Alonso, a 2-run shot back in the top of the fourth. Here we are in the bottom of the fourth. First pitch, and Suarez looks at strike one. And now time going to be called. Naylor got to adjust the laces on what looked to be a brand spanking new pair of Jordans.
Only you would notice that.
Stop. I've seen your shoe game. All right, it's strong. From the stretch. Canning's 0-1. And that's down low. Changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. You know, I'm not bright enough to be able to diagnose the swing changes for Suarez compared to the first week of April to now. But the one thing that stands out to the eye test, first the 1-1. Swung on, weak ground ball, hit towards short. Lindor has it. Quick flip over to second. There's one. McNeil's throw to first, not in time. There's going to be 2 outs, and that's going to bring up Moreno. I was going to say just how less frequently Suarez is chasing pitches out of the zone, particularly when he has fewer than 2 strikes. Obviously, 2 strikes, you're trying to defend, but it felt like that first couple weeks of April, once he cooled down, just either pressing or just being maybe a little lost in terms of confidence. But now does a good job laying off the pitch down in the zone. Usually does a good job avoiding that pitch away from him as a righty.
Plus, it looked like he was swinging as hard as he possibly could early on.
Gabby foul tips the first pitch. It's 0-1. Put out on Naylor goes 6-4. 1 on and 2 out. Canning's 0-1 to Moreno is deflected foul. No balls, 2 strikes. We talked about the ground ball rate for Griffin Canning, Candy, and outside of the strikeouts, of which Canning has 4 of, I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groundouts.
Yeah, 2 innings worth.
The 0-2. Ripped foul, right side out of play. So here we are. 3 2/3 innings in the books. 2 innings worth of groundouts, and an inning and a third worth of strikeouts. Carroll's got the 2 fly eyes. 1 big, 1 small. This one swung on, and again, scalded foul to the right.
And it's not like Canning is out there throwing this super sinker. This seems like a lot of 4-seamers to me, along with the slider and curveball.
No balls, 2 strikes. Getting ready. And now he deals. And that one is swung on and fouled away. sure the Mets and their fans happy to be not playing at Citi Field. Just horribly rainy in New York today, as evidenced by the Padres-Yankees game. Game's still not over. Padres trying to hang on to a 4-3 win as the National League West continues its wrecking crew demolition of baseball. D-backs have gotten out of the gate slow in their 2 games over 500. Padres are trying to get to 12 games over 500. And now the 0-2. Swung on again and fouled. Canning just refuses to throw a purpose pitch. He's pitching to Moreno like he has got a 3-2 count. It's no balls and 2 strikes in reality.
Just coming right after him.
Dodgers beat the Marlins. They're 13 over 500 at 24-11. The Giants lost to the Cubs today for their 14th loss. Right-hander comes set. And another 0-2. Swung on and missed. Finally got Moreno to chase one out of the zone. The inning comes to an end. The D-backs get a hit and strand 1. We've played 4 here at Chase Field. We go to the 5th. Mets on top 2-1 on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio.
Well, when we moved downtown San Diego from Qualcomm to Petco Ballpark, new uniforms were on the way, and this is the Padre home white. This jersey is from 2007, which was a career year for myself, winning a Cy Young. There's some different memories that stand out. One in this uniform against the Braves, where I struck out a Padre record 16, wearing this jersey, trying to make the Padre and the Friar faithful proud.
Shoulders.
12 News is dedicated to the Diamondbacks. Tune in free over the air to watch select Friday home games, followed by 12 News at 10. And for complete coverage, stream D-backs on Deck, available anytime on 12+.
D-backs skipper Torey Lovello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 in the Arizona Sports app.
All right, Nelson going to go back out for the top of the 5th inning. Mets on top 2-1. Really, Nelson's been battling his command more than he's been battling against the Mets. When he's throwing strikes, he's actually having a lot of success. Tyrone Taylor tripled off him his first time up. And Nelson's pitch is grounded right to the third baseman, Suarez. He's got it cleanly, and the throw to first in time. 1 pitch, 1 out. Good start here to the top of the 5th.
Gotta love that. Rolled right over the top of it.
Injuries can come out of left field. If you've been injured in an accident, call Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm and proud sponsor of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Well, Lindor 0 for 2, 2 flyouts. First pitch, and did it hit him? Sure did.
Curveball, just yanked on it. He made sure he got through that one, but it hit Lindor right on the foot area.
And here comes Troy Lovello. I think he's seen enough tonight. Called the bullpen, brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Best play in a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. So that is going to be it for Nelly. 1 on, 1 out. Juan Soto at the plate with the Mets leading 2-1 when we come back on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
With the Caesar Sportsbook app, you can bet while all the Diamondbacks action is in full swing. Parlay your favorite player props, home run hitters, and more with same-game parlays. Or select from today's pre-built parlays with quick picks.
The newfangled idea of the time was night games, and teams thought that the shiny material of satin would reflect the stadium lights better. But satin comes with all kinds of issues. Despite all its drawbacks, this shiny material really does create a show-stopping jersey.
KMBP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
Well, it's been a tough start for Jose Castillo's Diamondback tenure so far. He's got a 7.71 ERA. This will be his third appearance, so we're talking about a small sample size. Castillo, 29 years old, from Venezuela. Previously, had spent parts of 4 seasons with the Padres between 2018 and 2023. Here he is facing Juan Soto, 1 on and 1 out.
This is a big guy to get out here. Alonso swinging the bat great right now. This is a guy you need to get out.
And that is going to be a called strike. The count is 0-1.
The first one that he's seen all night.
2-1 Mets. Here's the pitch. And Soto takes outside. Ooh, that's a called strike. Wow.
Takes outside for a strike.
Hey, it's not my opinion. It's the guy behind the plate. He's the one who makes the final decisions. And now the 0-2. Just a bit down low. Not a bad idea there. Still a ball and 2 strikes. Castillo has the sign he likes. He comes set. And now the lefties 1-2. Swung on, rolled over to second. Marte has it. Goes to second. There's one. Throw to first. That's a double play. Nicely done by Castillo. Well turned by Marte. 4-6-3 inning-ending double play. And we now go into the bottom of the 5th. D-backs still trail 2-1 on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio network.
It's a
We're pushing the boundaries of science, targeting cancer at the molecular level, making every second count with appointments in as little as 24 hours. City of Hope, advancing cancer care at life-saving speed. Learn more at cityofhope.org.
D-backs Front Office Focus. Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Grab your favorite Pepsi products this summer at Fry's Food Stores and score points with the D-backs Rewards program. Points can be used for amazing merchandise, game tickets, and more. Visit friesfood.com/D-backs for details. First pitch, Gurriel swings. High fly ball, left center field. Nimmo going back and on the warning track makes the catch. Gurriel tried to give it a ride, but he just missed it. And that's going to be the first out on the first pitch of the 5th.
Oh, he just missed it. I mean, looked like he was just sitting on a slider. He got it just a little bit underneath it. Canning knows it, too.
Two-1 New York. Alec Thomas, the batter. Boy, still such a surprise. Both he and Cattell have no home runs yet this year. First pitch, Thomas takes down low. I know with Cattell he missed quite a bit of time, but we are still talking about the premier second baseman in baseball. He only needs about usually 5 games before he launches one. And now Canning's 1-0 pitch. Swung on. That is just chopped on the ground. Foul. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Well, Thomas got the everyday starting job once Jake McCarthy was sent down. McCarthy really struggled his season offensively. Now a hard hit ground ball foul right side.
He had a bat in Philadelphia where he hit a ball right out towards left center field, a line drive, and I thought that was a fantastic swing. And I thought maybe he's going to feel something with that swing, but so far looks like he's trying to pull the ball again.
Whoops, that one slipped out of the hand of Canning. Curveball missed high and outside. Since McCarthy went down, back to AAA Reno, he's played in 11 games. He's hitting .435 with an 1100 OPS. The 2-2. Swing and a miss.
Well, that's great news for McCarthy. We've seen him play when he's such a disruptor when he gets on the bases.
Here is Perdomo. Perdomo struck out looking his first time up. Well, he had a monster game yesterday, didn't he, Perdomo? 4 hits, 3 RBIs, a couple of stolen bases. And he takes a breaking ball from Canning. That's a strike. And the count 0-1. 6 strikeouts for Canning so far through 4 2/3 innings, including Perdomo looking back in the bottom of the 3rd.
Yeah, these bottom 4 guys on the lineup haven't done much at all in this game.
And now Canning's heater missed high. Leadoff home run by Carroll. That's how the D-backs offense got started in the bottom of the 1st. Since then, no runs on 3 hits, no walks, 6 strikeouts. 1-1. Perdomo with a ball up the middle and through, past the slide of McNeil. That's a base hit into right center field.
Didn't really hit the ball that hard, about 85 miles an hour off the bat. And I don't know if McNeil misjudged this ball or they just took a kind of a funny hop on him or just got by him. Maybe just got by him. But Perdomo with a base knock, that's good.
And on for Carroll. He not only got it done with the offense, but Candy got it done with the defense as well. And his outfield assist. That's our cool play of the game, brought to you by Chaz Roberts. Go to ChazRoberts.com for Arizona's leader in heating, plumbing, cooling, and caring. Chaz Roberts, serving you since 42. A long mound visit between Canning and Alvarez. Doesn't look like anybody's up and throwing in the bullpen for the Mets, so it's not a stall tactic. They just don't seem to be on the same page. And Marvin Hudson's like, all right, let's get it going. Carroll has hit the ball hard twice. He homered, obviously, his first time up. His second time up, he flew out to the base of the center field wall, about a 400-foot fly out. Mound visit is over. Carroll trying to get aboard for the second time, maybe give the D-backs the lead. Now a throw to first, and Perdomo just got back there safely.
Corver's got a wide open left center field if he wants to go that way. Right now, I mean, he's kind of locked and loaded pulling that ball.
Here's the pitch. That is outside. Makes you think of his first hit in the big leagues. A line drive towards left center field that he, using his speed, managed to turn into a double. Though I think that might have been against a left-handed pitcher. I don't remember all of it. Canning, home with a 1-0. And a looping curveball missed high. The number of curveballs that have been left up either in the zone or above the strike zone that have not been just pummeled, shocking.
Yes, I agree.
Now the 2-0 pitch. And that's a better breaker. A slider. Caught the corner for a strike. 2-1 the count. 2 outs. Here at the bottom of the 5th. D-backs trail the Mets 2-1. And now the 2-1 to Carroll. He's swung on and grounded foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
A lot of breaking stuff to him. A lot of spin.
We saw this tactic used against Carroll on the road trip. Lull him to sleep with off speed and then buzz him with the fastball for strike 3. Gannings. 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball. That's ripped into center field. A base hit. Perdomo has to hold it second. That ball was toasted. And now 2-on for Ketel.
113 miles an hour. Just a bolt up the middle.
I'll give Canning credit. He didn't duck.
No, didn't see it. Big opportunity now for Marte.
We talk about situational hitting, and sometimes there's situations where you let it fly, and sometimes there's situations where you're just looking to pull your team back in it. There's no reason why Ketel shouldn't be able to get a base hit here. Question is he looking for the 1 base hit, or is he looking for the extra base hit?
Situational hitting with your superstar up there.
He goes after the first pitch, and he chased one down. 0-1. I know it's the hamstring that's in question, but I do have to say the obliques look just fine. The way he is just torquing himself after some of these pitches.
Yeah, I don't even think that's an issue right now.
He looks like a guy competing in the hammer toss. Perdomo at second, Carroll at first. Here's the 0-1. Ketel grounds it right side. McNeil is there on a knee. He gloves, and he throws to first in time. The inning is over. 2 changeups out of the zone, and just like that, the D-backs out of the inning. We go to the 6th. Mets 2, D-backs 1 on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
At 7:45, the skipper joins Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30. Never miss another D-backs conversation when you subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel, Arizona Sports 98.7, and the Arizona Sports app, the home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball.
D-backs skipper Torey Lovello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
City of Hope is revolutionizing cancer care with life-saving speed here in the Valley, with dedicated experts, targeted treatments, and appointments available in as little as 24 hours. Learn more at cityofhope.org. Juan Murillo now on the mound for the Diamondbacks. 1.59 ERA through 6 appearances for the big league club. He faces Pete Alonso. And the first one swung on weakly, grounded to short, charging Perdomo, sets his feet, and now throws out Alonso for the out.
What a great pitch to throw. That first pitch slider, when you know he's got to be looking for fastball, and just a feeble ground ball to shortstop.
Mets with a 2-1 lead. D-backs have been spraying hits left and right, have not been able to really string them together and get that crooked number on the board as we're now in the second half of this one. Here is Starling Marte. Marte 0 for 2. Takes the first pitch. Ooh. Ball 1. That's about as good as a fastball as you're going to throw. Up and in, but not touching any of the edges of the zone from what we could see. Now the 1-0. Swung on and foul tipped.
You know, I would stay with hard stuff on Marte. It looks like he's just a tad slow up there. He got a little bit of a slider swing bat going. I'd stay hard stuff up.
Murillo's 1-1. And just kind of a show-me slider, low and away. Never really threatened the strike zone. The count 2-1.
Yeah, he got through that pitch very well. Got it out front, good extension, pulled it off.
Now the 2-1. And the fastball, not a bad location, but again, just that one maybe missed by a whisker. Unfortunately, it's now 3 balls and 1 strike.
Yeah, I mean, that's where you get him out. He can't handle that pitch. Unfortunately, it was called a ball.
3-1. Ripped foul. Well, fair to say he was sitting on that one.
I think so.
We'll count on Marte. Rio comes set. Three-two pitch. Missed it. Low and outside, ball 4.
Another walk.
I wonder, Candy, if that foul ball not so much rattled him, but was enough to knock him off his fastball. When in reality, I'm kind of with you. I would have just stuck with the hard stuff there and forced him to prove it. Nimmo's walked twice. D-backs have issued 5 walks today. Amazingly, only one of those walks has come home to score.
And Nimmo's dangerous. He's a good fastball hitter. So if you throw your fastball, you just have to locate it.
Murillo ready. Pitch number 1 is down low for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. It's been a heavy blow watching A.J. Puck miss obviously significant time. Fortunate he doesn't need Tommy John, but you still miss him. As the 1-0. Check swing foul by Nimmo. 1 ball and 1 strike. Justin Martinez, while it's not considered serious, is still right now going through an IL stint. The fact that D-backs have been able to tread water has been because of the emergence of Juan Murillo. This one swung on. Lazy fly to left center. Thomas coming in front of Gurriel, makes the grab. And now 2 down for Mark Vientos. That combined with the renaissance of Shelby Miller.
Shelby has been so good for the D-backs. You love to see that because that kid has worked hard.
I mean, not only that, but he has suffered. He was brought to this organization years ago at a blockbuster trade, not by his choice. The player never gets to choose, really. First pitch and taking a strike is Vientos. Just backed out of the box as the pitch was coming. But he did not perform well. He was probably in a lot of stories where he was at fault for a disappointing performance. A bust of what could have been. And he had to get a lot of suitcases and get to know a lot of traveling secretaries as he played for a lot of teams over the last few years. But think about where this group would be without him. Guy signed on a minor league deal.
I tell you, some guys just need that opportunity.
Swing and a miss. Another great slider. It's 0-2.
Well, Vientos is kind of laughing after that swing. I'd throw him another one in the same place.
No balls, 2 strikes. The pitch. Instead, a fastball. He was late on it. Fouled it away. Vientos still smiling.
It's almost as if these two know each other. He's got a big smile on his face.
Murillo comes set. Is 0-2. Fastball missed outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count. Mets with a 2-1 lead. 2 outs here at the top of the 6th. One-two pitch. Swung on and spoiled foul. Well, if it's them two knowing each other, it's not from being from the same hometown. Murillo, a native of Venezuela. Vientos, Norwalk, Connecticut.
No, probably not.
And now the 1-2 pitch. Fastball popped up out of play. We'll do it again.
Big cut that time. Good velo, too.
Vientos drafted by the Mets in the second round out of high school. Murillo originally signed by the Dodgers. Now the 1-2 swung on and fouled in and out of the mitt. The catcher Moreno.
He kept that slider off the plate away. In fact, it was well off the plate. Vientos pretty fortunate just to get a piece of that one.
TV showing a shot of Shelby Miller. They're probably listening to us. One on, two out. And another 1-2 pitch here from Murillo. And just tried to guide that slider. Missed outside. 2-2.
I like what he did there, though. Vientos got in there in plenty of time, and he just let the clock run down. Sometimes for a hitter, it's really hard when you're standing up there too long.
2-2 the count. And from the belt, here's the pitch. Fouled away again. He's taking the sliders away. He's going after almost every fastball. And the way that you talked about attacking Starling Marte, a little bit up, little bit in. I think that's where you might be able to sneak one past him. 2-2 now. Instead, he went to the slider low and away. Taken by Vientos. The count is full.
Well, what that'll do now is start the runner. He'll get a running lead over there at first base.
Three-two pitch. Swung on and grounded foul. Hit the front leg of Vientos. In the bottom of the sixth inning, the D-backs will have Pavin, Naylor, and Suarez. And for the Mets, playing 2 games yesterday, as anyone knows, you got a doubleheader and then you're playing the next day. You want your starter to give you some coverage. He's given that and quality. 3-2 again. Swung on and a fly ball to center. Thomas moves back. Now he button hooks in and makes the grab. The inning comes to an end. And for the Mets, no runs, a walk, a man left. We go into the bottom of the sixth inning. 2-1 New York on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
I'm going to go check out Food Truck Row. So, what did you guys get today?
Philly cheesesteaks.
Both of you got the same thing. Are they that good?
Oh, yeah.
Got a hot dog and some fries.
Just kind of basic ballpark.
Chicken bacon sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Philly cheesesteak.
Okay.
And some
Crinkle cut fries.
Okay, where are you guys from?
We're from Dallas.
Dallas. That's what's fun about baseball. It brings different regions together, not just the ball and glove and bat, but what we're eating.
Get access to flexible ticket plans, exclusive events, postseason priority, and more when you become a D-backs Advantage member. For more info, visit dbacks.com/memberships.
The Arizona Diamondbacks play here. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Middle part of the lineup coming up here for the Diamondbacks. Pavin, Naylor, and Suarez. Griffin Canning, he's been really good for the Mets. He was really good coming into the game, and he's been really good now that the game's actually started. So,
yeah, I mean, this has really been a good pitcher's duel. I mean, there's been traffic on the base paths, but, the guys have been getting out of it. They've been making pitches.
Here's the pitch to Pavin. That's in the dirt, ball one. Been an extended period of time now for Pavin without a real run of hits for him. 1-0 now. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Has not had a hit since his 2 hits against the Mets back on the series opener. A 2-0 pitch. Way outside from Canning. My goodness.
Strange pitch. 2-0, big curveball.
Pavin just 2 for his last 24. As this 3-0 from Canning is taken for a strike. 8 walks, 11 strikeouts in those 10 games, but no slug. 3-1 pitch. Outside, ball 4. Leadoff walk. That's what the Diamondbacks need.
You'll just take the base runner any way you can get it.
And now the Mets bullpen, just like that, springs into action. Alvarez will walk a new baseball over to Griffin Canning. And now here comes Carlos Mendoza, and it looks like the day is done for his right-hander. Hasn't pointed yet, but there's got to be a hook in that hand. And that is all she wrote. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Best play to new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. Canning is done. And it'll be a battle of the bullpens from here on out when we come back. 1 on, nobody out. Bottom of the 6th on the Morgan & Morgan deep.
Celebra tú también con BetCris.
.com to learn more.
DBACKS Front Office Focus, Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Huascar Brazoban, the new pitcher for the Mets, 35-year-old right-hander, is in for the 16th time this season. Brazoban has allowed 3 runs in 19 2/3 innings pitched. That's a 1.37 ERA, 20 strikeouts, 6 walks, a whip of 0.9. First pitch to Naylor, swing and a miss. There goes the bucket.
I mean, he's putting some hellacious swings on some pitches tonight. Last time up, he cracked one to right field.
Oh, 1. And good job by Naylor taking low. 1 ball and 1 strike. Brazoban faced the Diamondbacks back in New York, but he served as an opener and actually did a terrific job. Now the righty ready, and his 1-1 to Naylor is going to be low. 2 balls and a strike. In that game, he worked 2 scoreless innings, didn't allow a hit, struck out 3, did walk 1, but it really set the tone for what would have been a Mets win had the D-backs not scored 4 runs in the final 3 innings. The 2-1 pitch. Naylor swings and foul tips it. Oh, man. Got a piece of Alvarez right on the thigh. It's 2-2.
Change up, and he spun on it and just foul tipped it. Came up, kicked Alvarez. I always say this all the time. Just being a catcher just doesn't look fun.
Any activity where you have to walk out with armor on your legs and your chest and your face before the fun starts doesn't sound like the most appetizing extracurricular
I guess it's fun when you're in Little League or coach pitch maybe because you get to put the armor on. Kind of a fun thing, but all of a sudden guys start throwing the ball hard. I don't think it's that fun.
Pitching's way more fun.
Yes.
2-2 pitch. Hard hit ground ball to second. McNeil has it. Flips over to Lindor. There's one. Throw to first in time. Second double play ball that Naylor's rolled into. Yeah, that washes away the leadoff walk by Pavin.
Yeah, both of them 4.6 threes. Stingers, rally killers.
Mets with a 2-1 lead. Diamondbacks got a leadoff home run by Corbin Carroll obviously in the first. The Mets got a 2-run home run by Pete Alonso in the fourth. That has been pretty much it. And now the pitch to Suarez, swung on and bounced over in the D-back dugout foul. 0-1 the count. Three to throw for Brazoban. Now he fires. And Gino takes inside. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Mexican Heritage Weekend is May 9th through the 10th during the D-backs versus Dodgers series. On Friday, enjoy a free post-game concert featuring La Original Banda El Limon. Here's the pitch, swung on. Fly ball down the left field line, slicing towards the corner. It is just foul.
Boy, another changeup. I think that's 3 changeups in a row that he's thrown to Suarez. And that one was up in the air. Didn't hit it well, but it looked like it might hang on and land in fair territory, but not quite.
Two outs, a 1-2 count. And the Mets leading 2-1 in this series opener. Brazoban comes set. The 1-2. Fastball outside. Check swing, no swing on appeal. Trip Gibson, the first base umpire, made the call.
98 just missed out there. He almost went after it. See from the side, they're showing it to us. Probably could have been called either way. Close.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Suarez strikes out. The inning is over. And the D-backs go quietly in the bottom of the 6th. We go to the 7th. Mets hanging on. It's 2-1 New York on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio network.
Skipper joins Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30. Never miss another D-backs conversation when you subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel, Arizona Sports 98.7, and the Arizona Sports app, the home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball.
D-backs skipper Torey Lavello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Monday pitcher on for the Diamondbacks. Right-hander Ryan Thompson takes over. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Best play to new Ford at Sanderson Ford. Thompson making his 15th appearance. 3.68 ERA. 6 walks, 14 strikeouts. And the Mets leading 2-1. He faces Francisco Alvarez. Mets catcher, first pitch grounded, and it ricochets off the pitcher towards second. Barehand pickup by Marte. Throw to first, can't be secured by Naylor. And a base hit for Alvarez to start the top of the 7th.
Well, that ball kind of deflected off Thompson, slowed it down. Marte came in and made a really nice play. Barehand pickup, snap throw. I think they might have had him, but Naylor just couldn't secure it. Playing on the back of the bag. This throw was on the front of the bag. He stretched, just couldn't get it in the glove.
Just kind of anchored that back leg to the bag. And now McNeil He takes the first pitch he sees for a strike. McNeil's 0 for 2. D-backs using their third different reliever. Here's the 0-1. And that is way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike, the count.
I don't know how Gabby caught that one. That was way out there.
Taking a look at the replay, and I think he backhanded this ball.
He did.
Wow.
How do you catch that like that?
The catching gloves that they make today, Candy, I tell you.
I know one glove that wouldn't have caught that.
1-1. And that is off the plate away. 2 balls and a strike. For those wondering, this little inside joke, brought in a glove grandfather's that he had. It's from the 1920s, an old catcher's mitt.
Amazing.
The 2-1 is outside, ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Trying to think of a comparable size. This itty bitty little thing that they use like those.
Salad plate.
Yeah, pretty much. The pocket barely big enough to fit a baseball even in it. Now Thompson's 3-1. And that's a strike. 3-2 the count. Generous call. That was off the plate.
And McNeil knew it too. He's letting them have it.
D-back pitchers have issued 5 walks today. But the way that Torrey's managing this game, Candy, you can tell he's selling out here. Keeping it as tight as it can be so the D-backs can come from behind and win it. Full count. Here's the pitch to McNeil. Swung on and spoiled foul, went back to the sinker. Bullpen had a tough go of it yesterday. Could not hold on to a 6-run advantage. And the offense picked it up in the 10th when they scored 3 runs and they beat the Phillies in that wild finale yesterday. Here's the 3-2 again. Another swing, another foul by McNeil. But that bullpen has allowed 23 earned runs in its last 41 innings pitched. That is an ERA north of 5. It's hard to win when you are leaking oil at the back end of games. 3-2. Swung on, and that is lifted in the air. Foul left side. And for as much as people felt like the World Series run, the playoff run was fluky, the one thing that really stood out when you got to the 7th, the D-backs did a great job posting 0 after 0 after 0. That's how you win.
Ginkel, Thompson, they were just outstanding. Seawald, you can lock down the end of the game.
3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. And McNeil, the slow walk back to the dugout, still agitated that he didn't get that ball 4 call.
Made a pitch on him, even though Moreno wanted it away. It was way inside. And he got O'Neill, a really good hitter, to swing at it.
Big first out. Here's Tyrone Taylor. And the first one to him. Slider outside for ball 1. Mets with a 2-1 lead. Both of those runs coming in the 4th. D-backs got their only run in the bottom of the 1st. And the 1-0. Tried a sinker that missed inside for ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Taylor 1 for 2 with a triple. But he was thrown out by Carroll at home 1 batter later. Now a sinker creases the edge for a strike. Taylor, a great fastball hitter. Thompson's not exactly, though, your run-of-the-mill fastball.
A lot of movement to it. Hard to pick up, strange arm angle.
Now that one roped into left field, a base hit. Gurriel hustles over to cut it off. Sliding backhand knocks it down. His throw's going to go to 3rd. And Taylor into 2nd. That's a 1-out double. The Mets are in business here. Runners at 2nd and 3rd. Only 1 man down, and the top of the order coming up.
Fastball, but it was up in the zone. And when it's up in the zone, it's a little bit easier to see when someone's throwing the ball sidearm. And he crushed that ball. Nice job by Gurriel getting to cut that ball off, because you don't know how that ball's going to kick when it kicks off the bullpen.
Mets trying to create some separation. D-backs forced to bring the infield in. Lindor put the ball in the air his last time in this type of situation. But he flew out to Carroll, and Carroll threw out Taylor at home. Now that pitch down the middle for a strike. And the count is 0-1.
This is where the Mets are so tough. This top of the order, especially when guys are on base with Lindor, Soto, Alonso.
Thompson comes set. Is 0-1. Swung on and grounded foul. The count 0-2.
Well, Thompson's looking to do one thing right now. He's looking for a punch out.
Second and third, one out. Mets lead by 1, top of the 7th. The 0-2 on the way to Lindor. And it's grounded foul, first base side. Naylor is playing way off the bag at first. I mean, there's a lot of space for Lindor to finagle one in between Naylor and the first base bag. And for a guy like Thompson, who a lot of off speed, you'd feel like that's where the ball's going to go. Here's the 0-2 now. Sinker high. Change the eye level. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think someone in the dugout heard you, because they just repositioned Naylor a little bit deeper and a little bit towards the foul line.
I mean, Alvarez is not fleet of foot at third base. You have time. The 1-2 pitch. Swung on and crushed. Deep right field. Carroll gives it a courtesy look, but that ball is into the pool, gone. And the Mets now take a 5-1 lead on Lindor's 7th of the year.
That was a slider, a flat one down at the bottom of the zone. And a lot of lefties you've seen over the years can really handle that down and in pitch. And Lindor got one, and he just did not miss it.
Bullpen woes continue here for the Diamondbacks. And now here is Soto. Thompson ready. Here's the pitch. Soto swings and misses. And the count is 0-1. Just the second home run allowed by Thompson this year, but that one is a stinger. Both of the home runs for the Mets with men aboard. Here's the 0-1. Sinker just missed below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. One ball and 1 strike. Thompson kicks, fires. And the sinker clips the bottom of the zone. It's now 1-2.
That's a nice pitch. Working that outside part of the plate and down to Soto. Soto will go the other way if it's elevated. Keep it down.
1-2 now. Fastball high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We saw that in the finale twice. 2 homers to left center field by Soto. Two pitch. Oh, it's inside. Nearly hits Soto for ball 3. And now Tommy Henry up and throwing in the bullpen. Three balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. And now Soto will use his timeout strategically. In the bottom of the 7th, Diamondbacks have Moreno, Gurriel, and Thomas. And if those guys can kind of get it cooking, it really sets the table for the top of the order. 3-2 pitch. That is just cranked out towards right field on a line. That is off the right field wall. Carroll picks it up and hustles it into second. Soto slides with a double. 110 off the bat. Carroll still nearly threw him out. But it's a one-out double, and the hits keep falling in for New York.
You know what I love about Carroll's defense is he gets to this ball, and it seems like every throw that he makes lately is all accurate. I mean, that's hard to get anybody. I mean, that ball was scorched off the wall, but still another accurate throw by Carroll.
Thompson has faced 5 hitters. He's given up hits to 4 of them. And now a mound visit. And I think that might be the day for Thompson.
Yeah, 3 of those extra base hits, 2 doubles and a home run.
And here comes the manager, Torre Lovello. Call to the bullpen is brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Best play at a new Ford at Sanderson Ford. So Thompson's night is over. And it will be the season debut for Tommy Henry right after this on the Morgan & Morgan D-Backs Radio Network.
Experience a playcation in paradise. Talking Stick Resort in sunny Scottsdale offers you 4-star mountain views. Treat yourself to a relaxing spa, enjoy award-winning dining, and explore the hottest slots and table games.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. Be cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.
Tommy Henry, the left-hander, is on to pitch for the Diamondbacks. It is his 3rd tour here with the big league club, going back to 2022. Henry really struggled last year. A number of things stood out. Number 1, a lack of command, particularly with the fastball. Number 2, the slug against him. Wound up pitching to the tune of a 7.04 ERA in 7 starts, 9 appearances before he was sent down to Reno. That was last year. This year, with the Aces, made 6 starts. And now his first pitch to Pete Alonso is a strike called, and gave up 32 runs in 31 2/3 innings. 5-1 Mets lead it, 1 out, top of the 7th. And the 0-1 is on the way to Alonso. That fastball missing a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike the count. Still, the Diamondbacks can overtake a 4-run deficit, particularly in this building. We have seen him do it already multiple times this year.
Yeah, and that's why exactly how you have to keep this game so close. You can't let it get away from you.
Swinging a line drive, base hit into left field. Past the outstretched arm of Perdomo. Gurriel comes up firing to the cutoff man Suarez. To third on the play goes Soto. And now there are runners on the corners for Starling Marte.
Another 115-mile-an-hour line drive hit. Just a topspin line shot to left.
Designated hitter, Starling Marte. Well, the Diamondbacks are just smack dab in the middle of a stretch where they are playing every day for nearly 3 weeks. And so this is going to be a situation where Henry, as this one to Marte, is taken for a strike. Unless the D-backs in the next inning or 2 tie or take the lead, he's going to eat up as many outs as it takes. D-backs trail by 4. Runners on the corners for the Mets. The 0-1 is a changeup in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Henry, a former 2nd-round pick out of the University of Michigan. Fastball velocity kind of types out in the low 90s, 90, 91. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Oh, that's inside. 4-seamer at 91 miles per hour. 2 balls, 1 strike the count.
When you don't have the high velo as a fastball, you really have to not only locate that, but you have to make your other pitches count. Can't miss with them.
The 2-1. Hard hit, ground ball to second. Diving Marte has it. Flips to Perdomo 1 on to first. Double play. And the inning's going to come to an end, assuming the Mets don't challenge. What a brilliant play by Ketel to get the D-backs out of trouble. And that will send us to the bottom of the 7th. Stretch time in the desert. Mets lead at 5-1.
What is it about baseball cards that make them so special? Why do you enjoy doing that?
Well, the biggest thing is I started collecting when I was a kid. O-Pee-Chee was a Canadian hockey league, and then the Canadian football. But I didn't start in the U.S. until I had signed professionally as a ball player. And when I got my first rookie card, and I've got it here with me.
Let's take a peek at that.
1966 with Billy Sorrell.
Brighter.
On Friday, May 9th, enjoy a free post-game concert featuring La Original Banda El Limon. Go to dbacks.com/Mex for tickets and field passes.
D-backs Front Office Focus, Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
This copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the Arizona Diamondbacks and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Mets are going to stick with Huáscar Brazoban for the bottom of the 7th. They now lead 5-1. Mets got 3 runs on a 3-run homer by Francisco Lindor in the top of this inning. Now the 1-0 pitch, and Moreno taking downstairs for ball 2. Well, this is usually where we say D-backs really need to get a run out of here, but frankly, they need more than one. A 2 spot would really just do a world of wonder.
Yeah, you got to get within 2 here now.
And that is a strike called. 2-1 the count.
Preferably a lot more, but you got to start, just getting an attack going here.
The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, weak ground ball to third. Tough play, Vientos. Comes in, gloves, and throws low. Backhand pick made nicely by Alonso at first. And Moreno out number 1.
Not a real good throw by Vientos. Came in, made a nice charging catch, but just not much on the throw. And his first baseman, Alonso, really helped him out. That was not an easy pick.
Just looking at that replay, it seemed like in the exchange, Vientos never really got it in his grip, so he just kind of guided one.
Palm ball.
There's a swing and a ball hit out towards center. Playable for Taylor, near the track. He'll make the catch. And just like that, 2 down.
I think that's the second time in a row Gurriel has gone after that first pitch. This one got in on him a little bit. Well, bottom of the order production just not there tonight for the Diamondbacks so far. 6 through 9 hitters, 1 for 10 with a single. Thomas is grounded out to second and has struck out. He takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. 5-1 Mets, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th. And Brazoban's 1-0. Swung on by Thomas. Line foul left side. One ball, 1 strike. Brazoban comes set.
His pitch is outside again. And the Mets don't even have anybody up in the bullpen, so they are really expecting Brazoban to either get through this inning, which, I mean, to his credit, 2 up, 2 down with little resistance. Now the 2-1. Swung on, and a fly ball out to left. Playable for Nimmo. He goes back now, walks it in, makes the grab, and the D-backs are down in order in the bottom of the 7th. We move on to the 8th inning. Mets lead it 5-1. You're listening to the D-backs on the Morgan & Morgan.
Thursday mornings at 7:45. The Skipper joins Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30. Never miss another D-backs conversation when you subscribe to the Arizona Sports YouTube channel, Arizona Sports 98.7, and the Arizona Sports app, the home of Arizona Diamondbacks baseball.
D-backs skipper Torey Lovello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Well, the 7th inning was brought to you by Arizona Complete Health, transforming the health of the community one person at a time. No sponsorships yet for the 8th inning for those interested. Mets have a 5-1 lead. And Brandon Nimmo leads off against Tommy Henry. Mets out hitting the D-backs 8-6. And first pitch from Henry is just off the plate for ball 1. Watch all D-back games in market, both live and on demand during the 2025 season. Limited time sale right now, $44.99 for the rest of the year. D-backs TV presented by Progressive. More information, go to dbacks.tv. Again, this is a limited time sale. Basically, they have cut the price in half. You can watch the game, but pump in the radio broadcast. Well, that is swung on and missed. And it's basically free once you buy D-backs TV. That radio just comes in. Really, what kind of gift could you get for mother on Mother's Day, father on Father's Day?
Perfect.
Here's the 1-2. Swing and a miss by Nimmo. He is down on strikes.
Nice pitch. His curveball. That's Tommy's best pitch. And he got him in a position where he could just throw this ball, being aggressive, going down. And he gets a swing and a miss by Nimmo.
So there's one down for Vientos. Vientos 1 for 3. A couple of righties coming up now as that pitch curveball missed outside for ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes. Mets lead at 5-1. Henry kicks, fires. Swung on. That ball blasted foul. And we pause 10 seconds for station ID in the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
KMVP FM Phoenix.
Arizona Sports, the local sports leader.
On the Arizona Sports app and on 98.7.
Here's the 1-1. Curveball missed high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Well, Zach Gallen goes tomorrow against David Peterson. Peterson was just nails against the D-backs back in New York. As now Vientos takes a strike, and the count is 2-2.
Yeah, he was hard to figure out for the D-backs. But Zach has been outstanding that last outing.
Henry's 2-2 pitch. Curveball swung on and fouled. We'll do it again. Certainly seems to have his way with any baseball club coming from New York. We'll see if it translates here back at Chase Field, but when you have this stretch of consecutive games, managers often look to their starting pitchers to really provide some respite.
Just kind of get things back in order.
And now the 2-2 pitch. Swung on, into the bat, line drive to Perdomo. He makes the catch. And that is out number 2.
Slider pulled him. Looked like he was way out in front of it. Easy little line drive to Perdomo.
2 down for Alvarez. First pitch, Alvarez, he takes high. And they count 1-0. Now the 1-0 pitch is in the dirt. You know, in terms of approach, Alvarez reminds me a lot of Gary Sanchez. Body type very different, defensively very different. You know, the way you rank the arm. But when they're in the box, here's the 2-0. And that curveball floated in there for a strike. It's now 2-1.
Yeah, they want to swing.
Oh, yeah.
And they both have power.
Tremendous pull side power. Here's the 2-1. Another curveball, weakly grounded back into the glove of Henry. He will underhand to Naylor. That's going to do it for the Mets. They're down in order here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Offense got to get it going. They trail 5-1 on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
Well, good morning, kiddo. I love that you're home from college. I've missed you.
Still.
Another W for Dave. First courtside thanks to Game Time.
What's up, guys? I'm front row at the concert thanks to Game Time. Woo!
Wait, Game Time has concert tickets?
Yeah, look.
Huh.
It's the best way to guarantee you're getting the lowest price to your favorite artist, too, even at the last minute.
What time is it? It's Game Time!
This is a good one right here. The Padres. Little pinstripe unis. We would wear these every Thursday. When I kept it, I wanted to keep it all dirty. I always felt like if you didn't get dirty in a baseball game, you kind of didn't really play that day. So I had my pine tar there, a little dirt in the front side of it, but the brown and orange, really cool cleats. All the fans really enjoyed it as much as the players did.
Secure your tickets for the matchup at DBACKS.com.
The Arizona Diamondbacks play here. Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Daniel Nunez is on the pitch for the Mets. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Best point in New Ford is at Sanderson Ford. Nunez for New York this year has made a total of making his season debut, last year made 25 appearances at a 2.31 ERA. Actually was really, really good for New York. 2-0 record, a whip under 1, and a strikeout per 9 of over 12. He faces Perdomo, Carroll, and Cattell. D-backs chasing 4 down to their final 6 outs. And the pitch from Nunez is a strike. Fastball pumped in at 97.
Really good arm. Perdomo up there. I'm sure he's trying to work a walk at first, depending on where the count gets.
Now the 0-1 pitch from Nunez is outside, and they count 1 ball and 1 strike.
That's one thing the D-backs need. They need base runners.
Nunez's season was cut short last year after a right pronator strain. Here's the 1-1. Swung on by Perdomo, fouled away left side. That's in your forearm. And obviously injuries around the forearm are in close proximity to the elbow. So a bit fortunate that it didn't require Tommy John, but he missed about the same amount of time or close to it. Mets optioned him to Syracuse to allow him to ramp up at the speed that was best for him, not try and rush him back to the majors to start the year. And the 1-2 pitch, too high to Perdomo, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sure has high octane. Comes up there at 97, but explodes.
Two pitch from Nunez. Outside, ball 3. Alvarez tried to stick it, but the count full.
This is exactly the type of at bat you'd think that Perdomo would have right here. Just seeing pitches, working the count, trying to draw that walk.
3-2. Inside, ball 4. The walk is secured.
Strange pitch, slider to a guy that you know is just trying to make you throw a strike. And he just yanked that ball.
Well, before his injury, Nunez, slider heavy, actually threw more sliders than fastballs. We'll see how he chooses to attack Carroll. Carroll is 2 for 3. D-backs down 5-1. Nobody out in the 8th. Here's the pitch. Carroll takes a strike. And there's the slider. 0-1. Right-hander ready. The 0-1 to Carroll is low and in. Snap throw to first, and back there safely Perdomo. On the one hand, Perdomo's run means nothing. On the other hand, maybe that's why Alvarez felt so comfortable taking such a wild card shot at it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now the pitch, and Carroll takes high. 2 balls and a strike.
This is how you get right back into things. 1 walk already. Corbin ahead in the count. Just looking for 1 pitch.
Just trying to pass the baton, one guy to the next. A 2-1. Swung on, broken bat, foul. Line drive right side.
Another slider down and in. Just caught that on the end of the bat, it looked like.
Really normally likes to bury that slider low and in. Almost never sort of hangs it out to dry into the righties away from the lefties, if we're talking about location in the strike zone. But at times, and especially for a guy coming back, obviously his slider looks pretty good, but you don't have total control of it. Sometimes in an effort to try and make sure you don't hang it, you miss slowing in, you can hit a guy on the foot. 2-2 pitch. Inside, it's going to go to the backstop.
It almost hit him in the foot. I mean, really not even close to the plate. That almost looked like the one he threw to Perdomo.
So that puts Perdomo in a scoring position. It eliminates the possibility of a double play. And now for Carroll, walks as good as a hit here. Full count, Nunez ready. It's 3-2 to Carroll. is too high. That is ball 4.
Ball game. Whole new ball game now.
And here, almost on a sprint, is the pitching coach, Jeremy Hefner. It is only Cinco de Mayo, which, by the way, happy Cinco de Mayo to all who celebrate. Hopefully it's filled with chips and margs. But how many times have we already said this year, Candy? This is game number 35. The fastest way to get invited back into a game when you're losing. Walks.
Every single time.
Unforced, unnecessary walks.
And you got 2 of them to start this inning off.
D-backs are trailing 5-1. But Perdomo and Carroll have walked, so now you've got blazing speed on. Nunez now working against Ketel Marte. Marte 1 for 3 tonight. The pitch to him here in the dirt for ball 1. And he was uninterested in that slider.
And Nunez, on his end of it, he can't make the adjustment on that slider right now.
And if he overcorrects, he is going to hang one to a guy that you should not do that to. There's the 1-0. Swung on, popped up, foul, out of play, left side, went to the 4-seamer. Count even at 1-1. Arrive early to the D-backs vs. Rockies matchup on Saturday, May 17th, and get a replica home jersey courtesy of Avnet. Secure your tickets at dbacks.com. 2 on, nobody out. The 1-1 to Ketel is a backdoor slider that missed outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a good eye and a good take by Ketel. Knows that he has a struggling pitcher out there.
Well, now Alvarez just time wasting here. Slowly walks in front of the plate to throw the ball back, then adjusts, straps on one of his shin guards before slowly making his way back to the plate as Mets are trying to get Reed Garrett ready as soon as possible. 2 balls, 1 strike, the count. Now the 2-1. Swing and a foul tip. Top of the zone fastball. He put a good swing on it, did Ketel. It's 2-2.
Oh, that was very hittable. Ketel knows he missed a pitch he could handle.
They got the right guy up in the right spot, but they need something. 2-2 to Marte. Low, what a take. What a take that was. And the count is full.
Yeah, that was a good pitch. That was a slider. Starts probably at the bottom of the knees, and he takes it. Great take.
D-backs will take a 3rd walk. Nunez, home with a 3-2 pitch. Way outside, ball 4. The ball goes all the way to the backstop. And Nunez has walked him loaded to begin the bottom of the 8th.
Boy, another 3-2 pitch. It's not even close to the strike zone. And that'll be it for him.
He's seen enough. Call to the bullpen brought to you by Sanderson Ford. Best play in a new Ford is at Sanderson Ford. And the Mets, though they have a 5-1 lead, have just loaded the bases with nobody out for Pavin Smith when we come back on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
With the Caesar Sportsbook app, you can bet while all the Diamondbacks action is in full swing. Parlay your favorite player props.
Biggest thing we're bringing is a brand new Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, you know, between August of 93 And May of '95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Pitcher for New York, right-hander Reed Garrett takes over on the mound. Garrett, 32-year-old native of Virginia, is making his 16th appearance. He's been the Mets' best reliever. A 0.63 ERA in 15 appearances, 16 strikeouts, 5 walks. But the bases are loaded with nobody out for Pavin Smith. First pitch, and Pavin takes downstairs for ball 1.
And we'll take another walk. He's only allowed 1 home run this year. That could change quickly.
D-backs just, again, trying to pass it on from one guy to the next. They trail 5-1. 1-0 pitch is in there for a strike. Excellent cutter. I mean, that caught the bottom of the zone by an inch.
Pavin's not agreeing with it, but it looked like it was in there for a strike.
One ball, one strike. The pitch to Pavin. Swing and a miss.
That's sweeper that time, and Pavin chased the ball there.
Just the 4th at bat Garrett's ever had to deal with this season with the bases loaded, and he's been nails. The 1-2. Fastball missed the corner. 2-2 the count.
99 right on the black. That's one of those pitches that can be called either way.
And Mendoza is just shouting at Marvin Hudson, home plate umpire. 2-2 now. Swing and a miss. Struck him out anyways. Went to that splitter.
Well, he made about 3 or 4 good pitches to Pavin. Finished him off with the splitter, and that was nasty.
Well, here is Naylor. Bases loaded, 1 out. Naylor's hit into 2 double plays. No Diamondback has ever hit into 3 double plays in the same game. He represents the tying run. Best chance Diamondbacks have had all night. The table is set. And the pitch from Reed Garrett is ripped on a line to center field. That's down for a base hit. Perdomo will score. Carroll had to hold. He wasn't going to be doubled up. It's now 5-2. Station to station go the D-backs for Suarez.
Well, he just looked. He got himself a cutter and just drilled it. Bottom of the zone. We've been saying Josh Naylor's a good low ball hitter. He doesn't like the ball up. And he smashes that ball to center.
How about another Suarez slam? Why not? I mean, we're here. First pitch, and Garrett missed down with a heater. 1 ball, no strikes, the count. Again, Suarez, like we talked about earlier, doing a better job not chasing as much. There's now the 1-0 pitch. He is swung on and fouled away. Great slider, just kissed the outside corner.
Yeah, good late break, sharp.
5-2 Mets lead it. Bases loaded, bottom of the 8th, 1 out. The 1-1 from Garrett. Swung on, that is drilled, deep center field. Taylor's going back, he's at the track, it is off the wall. Carroll will score, Marte's right behind him. It's a 2-run single as Naylor got caught at second, but the D-backs are back to within one as Suarez comes through in the clutch.
He got a cutter. This was a little bit more elevated on the outside part of the plate, and he was all over it. He had it timed perfectly, and when he hit it, I watched Alvarez's head, the catcher, and he put it down. He thought it was gone, and it hit high up off the wall. Taylor gets it back in. Josh Naylor misread that play, so he had to stay at second base, and Suarez, of course, at first.
He went back to tag, did Naylor. He thought Tyrone Taylor was under it, just kind of overthought the plot on that one. What a game this has turned into, thanks to the 3 walks by Dedniel Nunez.
Happens every time, the walks.
And Suarez with our launch of the game inspired by Honeywell. Honeywell, the future is what we make it.
Well-placed base hit right here will tie this game.
D-backs still chasing one. Here's the pitch. And a slider missed from Garrett. You wouldn't think it would make such a difference. These guys are professionals who come out of the bullpen and they're parachuted in tough spots. But like you said, when you come into a game and there's traffic on the bases, it's just so much harder. 1-0 now. Moreno grounds it foul outside the first base line.
That could have been great. Sharply hit, but just push foul.
Naylor at second, Suarez at first. McNeil really holding Naylor tight at second. Now he retreats. And the 1-1 pitch. Slider in there for a strike. It's 1-2.
Ooh, that was right down the gut. Got away with that one.
Moreno, the 7th man to come to the plate this inning. And now he will use his timeout. For obvious reasons, Moreno trying to avoid the double play ball, but Gurriel on deck. I know that he is 0 for 3, but we both just like the way he's been swinging the bat as of late. Give him a chance to be a difference maker. Garrett's 1-2. Fastball swung on and missed. Struck him out. Actually a splitter. And that's the 2nd strikeout for Garrett. 2 down.
Made another really nasty one right there. Just down, fell off the table. Once you start that thing down, get on top of it, it just keeps going down.
First and second. Mets lead at 5-4. Diamondbacks have countered the 3-run 7th with 3 runs so far in the bottom of the 8th, but a base hit could tie it up. Here is Lourdes Gurriel Jr. First pitch to him, and Garrett missed low. 98 miles per hour on a sinker. It's 1-0.
No doubt about it. This kid's got good stuff. Awful tough to come into that situation he came into, but he's got 2 big strikeouts in this inning.
And now the 1-0. Low and in. 2 balls, no strikes.
Just takes a little flair.
The 2-0 from Garrett is popped up. Alvarez looks like he has a play, and he makes the catch right in front of the Mets on deck circle. It is a foul pop out on a 2-out count, and the D-backs, they score 3, but as we go to the ninth, they still trail at 5-4. The Morgan & Morgan D-backs radio.
I remember the first series I had, the first home run I hit was a grand slam against Seattle, which was the team that I had played for the year before. As we know, Cleveland can get a little cold, so I would wear the dark blue long sleeves. And for some reason, this jersey, I always liked my jersey a little longer. The reasons for it, for a little padding. So when I would slide, I wouldn't get all patched up and roughed up.
That's great, Gonzo. Sanderson Ford is celebrating 70 years with From America, For America employee pricing. Now you pay what I pay.
Stop by Sanderson Ford and get a pair of tickets to an Arizona Diamondbacks game.
Thank you for your business over the past 70 years.
One pair of tickets per household with valid driver's license to July 6th game versus the Kansas City Royals while supply of 200 tickets last.
D-backs skipper Torey Lovello talks with Burns and Gambo Friday afternoons at 2:30 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
It is the top of the ninth inning, and we got a brand new ball game. Mets still on top, though, 5-4. And Tommy Henry back to work, flips in a curveball to pinch hitter Luis Angel Acuna. Count 0-1. Acuna, a .298 hitter, but more splash and spray. He has no homers, 4 RBIs. Really fast runner, though, as the 0-1 is swung on and missed. Couple of beauties there from limping his way up the line. Sort of the reasons that issues that plagued Henry last year. I mean, when we first saw him back in 22, the command, excellent with all of his pitches, really made a living on the edges. And it has just deteriorated over the last couple of years. But so far, pitching pretty well tonight. Here's Tyrone Taylor. First pitch curveball, that's fired in there for a strike. And the count 0-1.
Taylor's had a nice night offensively for the Mets. 2 for 3, 2 extra base hits.
Triple and a double. Here's the 0-1. No, a step and a throw. Check on Acuna. Again, terrific speed over there at first base. This year, 8 stolen bases and 9 tries. Henry's 0-1. A bunt. Hit right back to the pitcher. Henry spins and throws to first, and somehow Naylor kept his foot on the bag. Not a very good throw by Henry. He nearly got his first baseman in a head-on collision.
And not only that, that ball might have been sailing down the right field line. Henry, I guess he just didn't get a good grip on this ball. He had time to do it, but just yanked on it. And nice job by Naylor just making an adjustment, going into foul territory to catch this ball.
Mets have a valuable insurance run in scoring position for Lindor now. Here's the pitch, and that is upstairs, ball 1. Lindor homered his last time up, 3-run shot off Ryan Thompson.
I mean, Tommy's got to pay attention to Acuna at second base with 1 out.
Here's the pitch, and that's a strike. 1-1. That was the only hit of the night for Lindor, granted a big one. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Change up that time.
It had some movement to it, too. It broke downwards like a curveball.
Sure did. Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, ready for the ninth. Runner at second, one out for New York. Top of the ninth inning, and now Lindor will ask for time. Diaz so far this season has 7 saves and an ERA north of 4. So he's been vulnerable. But you've got to try and keep this at just a 1-run deficit. The 1-2. Poke towards first. Naylor has it and goes to the bag himself. And now there are 2 outs. A runner at third. And Juan Soto coming to the plate.
Not going to be an easy out right here with Soto. He's going to make him throw strikes, number one, but you're picking your poison. You want lefty on lefty going after Soto, or do you pitch around him? And then you got Alonso.
Soto has faced him twice. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
Or do you put them both on and go after the next guy, Marte? Little chancy.
He will work to Soto. The pitch to him is a curveball, head high and in for ball 1. Part of the reason why Soto is such a good fit in New York, he does find a way to live up to the drama.
Yes, he does that.
1 ball, no strikes. Henry's pitch is a curveball floated in there for a called strike. 1-1 the count.
Very rarely do you see in a bad end with 1 or 2 pitches to Soto. He's usually taking pitches. He wants to see what the pitcher has, trying to get his timing.
Mets 5, Diamondbacks 4 here in the ninth. 2 outs the pitch. Soto takes outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. It's almost as if Soto refuses to chase a pitch out of the zone because he hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, he's just such a patient hitter with all kinds of power.
2-1 from Henry. Is high ball 3. Henry very poised on the mound. Soto using his timeout, taking a couple of vicious practice swings. He is dialing up a swing for 1 pitch in 1 spot. And rarely does he miss it. Henry ready. Now is 3-1. Taken for a called strike. A slider. I mean, he has pulled out every rabbit out of the hat in this at-bat. Fastball, curveball, slider, changeup.
He's trying to make Soto think. He's doing a good job of it.
3-2. Curveball, weakly hit towards second, tough play. Oh, backhanded by Henry. He'll flip to Naylor in time. What a night for Tommy Henry as he is able to turn in 2 full scoreless innings of relief. He has kept the Diamondbacks to within 1. And now we go into the 9th inning. It'll be Thomas, Perdomo, and Carroll. 1 to tie, 2.
Yes.com/brighter.
Daniels Jewelers is the official sponsor of the trip around the diamond. Stop by any Daniels locations and say home run for your free team bracelet and $50 gift card toward any purchase of $99 or more. And at Daniels Jewelers, everyone is approved for credit. Daniels Jewelers, own the dream.
D-backs Front Office Focus, Wednesday mornings at 11:45 on Arizona Sports 98.7 and the Arizona Sports app.
Mets closer Edwin Diaz is going to try and pick up save number 8. New York on top 5-4 as we start the bottom of the 9th inning. 14th appearance of the year for Diaz, 21 strikeouts, Candy, 7 walks, and opponents hitting .217 against him. I get that's not outstanding, but there are hits to be found as Alek Thomas takes a strike, and the count is 0-1.
It all starts with the base runner. Just get a guy on base.
Here's the 0-1 now, and Diaz missed outside. Diaz 6'3", 31 years old from Puerto Rico. As his 1-1 is outside again, ball 2. Now in his 9th season in the majors, came up with the Mariners, was a star for them, and a huge get for the Mets in 2019. Now the 2-1 pitch to Thomas. Swung on, ground ball right side to first. The first baseman Alonso flips high, and Thomas is safe. Brutal toss by Alonso to Diaz, and the D-backs cash in on another mental Met mistake. They have the tying run on.
Boy, rolled it over, but not a good flip. Diaz did everything he could to catch that ball, come down on the bag, but great hustle by Thomas, ducking as he's getting there and tried to avoid the tag.
Good Lord, I mean, Alonso's lucky that Diaz didn't hyperextend his knee. Not only was he lunging to catch it, but he was trying to lunge for the bag. He could have blown a knee out. So 1 on for Perdomo. And he squares to bunt and takes low for ball 1.
And again, I really believe Perdomo right here is going to try to work himself a walk.
I mean, he may actually lay down a bunt. I get it. Runner goes. The pitch is taken. The throw to second is in time. Alvarez threw it wide of the mark, and it forced Lindor to catch it on the back of Thomas's ankle.
It's a challenge right now.
And they have to challenge. Replay review brought to you by Planet Fitness. Get fit for less than $15 a month. Let's take a look from what we see. Well, I see Lindor get his glove on the right calf of Thomas, but I don't see Thomas's hand from that camera angle.
Hard to tell unless they slow that all the way down, almost stop it.
2 sets of fans to the first base dugout. A bunch of umpires pumping their arm up. To the third base dugout, about 15,000 umpires waving him safe.
What a key play to the game right now.
Oh, I think he's in there. I think he is safe. We just saw an angle on the video board at Chase Field. Lindor's glove had not quite come down as the fingertips of Thomas's left hand are sliding into the bag. I think he's safe.
Just hopefully there's enough to overturn the call.
If he is safe, Candy, would you put the bunt back on for Perdomo?
I know Perdomo squared around, but I don't know if he's really bunting or not. I would, because that's a big run, right? Just takes makes them bring the infield in, number one, makes them bring the outfield in.
Huge call in New York. You can understand why they are taking so long. And still no definitive answer yet. I really think with the angle that we saw, his hand was in there before that glove was down.
This is like one of those things where the call in the field is such an important thing.
Here we go.
All in the field stands, the runner is out. Arizona will lose their power.
As I was saying, it's the call on the field unless there's just definitive things. And it certainly looked by the video, by the replay, that he was in there.
I get it. You want to err on the side of certainty, but that's pretty cowardly. One out, nobody on, the 2-0, and that's inside the Perdomo ball 3. D-backs not out of it yet. Still have a great part of the order coming up.
Perdomo, he's not going to be swinging here for at least 2 more pitches.
And there's a strike. Perdomo has walked and singled. He's also scored a run. Diaz ready the pitch. And that is a strike called. Perdomo knew it. Count is full.
Perdomo's got all the actions up there trying to draw a walk. Nobody's as good as him at doing that.
1 out, nobody on. Mets lead 5-4 the pitch. Swung on, fly ball to left, playable. Nimmo towards the line will make the grab. And the D-backs down to their final out here in the bottom of the 9th inning.
And you got the right guy up right now.
Carroll has 1 at bat against Diaz. Went for a grand slam. The pitch to him here is swung on and fouled. Carroll, he fouled it right off his ankle. And now slowly walks away from the batter's box. That one stung.
If he flips that little slider of his up anywhere in the hitting zone, Carroll is going to mash it.
The Diamondback offense has left it late. Question is, have they given themselves enough time? Endzone Richardson signaling to his center fielder Taylor, back up. As now Carroll takes a strike. And the count 0-2. Diaz, his 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Strikes out Carroll. The ball game is over, and the Mets hang on by a final score of 5-4. They take the series opener. And Candy and I will wrap it up right after this on the Morgan & Morgan D-backs Radio Network.
Hey, D-backs fans, Dr. Jay Schwartz, the team eye doctor for your Arizona Diamondbacks, has 3 Valley locations, 1 in Mesa, 1 in Scottsdale, and 1 in Glendale for all of your eye care needs. Call 480-483-EYES or go online at teamidoc.com.
Now remember, honey, you just got your license, so expect the unexpected.
Stop, Dad. I know already. What could happen? We're only going 20 miles an hour.